11th area code. Spokesman Tom Krause says the Georgia Public Service Commission's gotten word numbers in the 912 area code will run out in early 2028.
Once the 912 numbers have been exhausted mathematically, then the 565 area code will kick in and new numbers will be released using that. So you'll end up with 2 area codes down in that region.
And that is southeast Georgia, including Savannah, Brunswick, Statesboro. Krause says 565 is expected to provide enough phone numbers for 24 years. Affordable housing, a hot topic at today's Cobb County Commission meeting.
Recent Walton High School graduate Carter Ray addressing commissioners saying he worries about the future of his generation.
I'm scared that I'll never be able to own a home, forced to rent for my entire life, that I'll never be able to achieve the American dream. And so are tens of thousands of young people across the county who don't often have their voices heard in this room.
Others concerned about new apartment and townhome communities putting a strain on local schools by increasing student enrollment beyond capacity. And some district leaders also worry about high-density housing and how it could stretch resources and require costly expansions. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
10 people are dead in a school shooting in Austria. It began just a couple of hours into the school day in the city of Graz.
The mayor called the killings a terrible tragedy and said special forces were among the police deployed to the high school. Austrian news agency APA says the gunman killed himself after taking the lives of 8 students and a teacher.
Tina Krause reports the shooter is believed to be a former student at the school. A Snellville man faces felony charges after authorities in Cobb County say he left his 2 children in a hot car.
Cobb police say the car was parked outside the Cumberland Mall for more than 40 minutes in 80-degree weather. After receiving a tip from a witness, officers broke into the vehicle. The 1- and 2-year-old kids were taken to a hospital for evaluation. According to a warrant, the temperature inside the car where each child was sitting was recorded at 104 and 106 degrees. Their father, Jaquan Dixon, is charged with 2 counts of second-degree cruelty to children. Dixon is out on $10,000 bond. Amanda Moyer, 95.5 WSB.
Southern Baptists vote on same-sex marriage and other issues during their annual convention this week in Dallas, Texas. Among those issues, members are considering efforts to get the Supreme Court to overturn same-sex marriage 10 years after it was legalized. It is 3:03. The Von Haessler Doctrine begins in less than 2 minutes. Right now, beginning your live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams, so how's that drive looking out there?
It is not looking good in Kennesaw right now. I'm taking a live look at the Jam Cam Veronica, and it is pouring down rain on I-75. I'm looking specifically right here around Chastain Road. Cars going very slow, which you should do in the rain, so definitely allow for some extra time if you got to hit the roadways where some of this heavy rain is moving through. Elsewhere in Norcross, one crash cleared. Now we have more trouble. 85 northbound Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99. Now a stall in the backup blocks the left center lane, so that's going to keep the ride slow back towards Chamblee Tucker. If you're traveling downtown, 75, 85 northbound, those brake lights have filled in from University Avenue as you make your way up past Peachtree, Pine Street. Also might be some new trouble. Nope, just the rain. 75, 85, both north and southbound. You're seeing that wet pavement north of the airport as you try to get to and from I-20, so just allow extra time and use caution where the rain is falling down. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Epwards. Partly cloudy with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon, high 84. Drying out for tonight with lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a few clouds, high 87. An isolated pop-up storm on Thursday, but mainly dry, high 88.
Right now, it is 79 degrees in Avondale Estates, 83 degrees in Alpharetta, and 79 in Midtown Atlanta at 3:05. More news at 3:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
These people just make noise and basically waste our time.
Dear members of the media and the public, I welcome you.
Live from the heart of Atlanta, Georgia, and beyond, Hour 1 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. I am your lovable, huggable radio chat host, Eric Von Haessler. The other voices you hear are the Doctrinaires. Man of 1,000 voices, Tim Andrews. Lady of 184.7 characters, Autumn Fisher. The man behind the glass, George Clark. And the handsomest producer in all of producery, Jared Yamamoto.
I love when the open micers do my job for me, Eric.
Happy day, Von Haessler. Wanted to call and wish you a happy National Forklift Safety Day.
Hell yeah.
I normally celebrate these things privately, but the corporate email I got today just made me think that I wanted to wish you a happy National Forklift Safety Day. Thank you.
Well, forklift safety day to you too, sir.
It always falls when the strawberry moon is up.
Well, usually sometimes they fall on the same day, but
Yeah,
it's usually
they float.
close. It's,
Yeah.
it's
It
a
follows
float.
a lunar calendar.
It does. It does. And but by the way, forklift safety, very important.
It truly is.
It is. You kidding me?
It absolutely.
Those things get top
You think
heavy.
it's a fun go-kart? Absolutely not.
No. And if you think it's a fun go-kart, I want to know who your manager is, and I want to know who trained you. Okay, because the idea that you even look at that as a vehicle of any kind for fun.
Well, people don't even realize how important Luigi is to the Cars movie. Luigi the forklift.
I understand that, and I know that you have a child who's 4 years old right now, and so this will be top of mind for you.
Yeah, it's a 25-year-old Pixar movie that's new to me.
My youngest is 27, so I went and saw it at a theater or whatever. When was it out?
Oh, wow.
I have no. When did it come out?
Probably early 2010s.
Paul Newman's last movie, too, I think.
Was it? Well, he was
believe,
quite
yeah.
good in it. He was the Hudson Hornet.
That's right.
Wow.
Who was based
Trying to
on,
remember.
and I wish I could remember his last name, Raymond Parks.
Was he the guy that invented NASCAR?
No, he was the guy who started teams of cars and advertising on the sides of cars. And he lived to be, I believe, 100 years old or close to it. And until he was in his early 90s, he went to work every day at Hemphill Avenue, where he had his little repair station.
Oh,
his
that's
gas sta-
awesome.
Yes. And if I'm wrong on any of those things, don't bother with the open mic. Just let me believe. Just let me believe. Is it okay? Do you have to bust everybody because they got something wrong? Is that a
I think
rule?
you're all right there, Eric.
Thank you.
That was my tomato impression.
Well, that's very nice. Who was, whatever happened to that guy?
Larry the Cable Guy.
He owned the world
He's
for a
still
while.
doing all right. He's got all that money from cars.
Well, that's
And
fine.
no sleeves. All the money in the world can't get a sleeve.
Well, that's how you keep your money. You don't waste it on sleeves.
Smart. That's how he did it.
But I mean, he used to be
One shirt at a time.
You couldn't shake a stick, not hit Larry the Cable Guy. He was
He
everywhere.
Was everywhere. Every
So I-
advertisement had him. I mean,
Yeah.
anything from like a cell phone ad to like Emery gum. There was
I
like
actually
gum
saw.
ads.
I got free text messages after 9 p.m.
Hey, I got the best way to get douching you can possibly imagine.
Are you not feeling so fresh?
Massengill.
I actually saw his movie.
Which one?
I don't. He was. I think he played a food inspector in Mexico or something. I don't know. I'm conflating the plot lines, but I was. There were actually some humorous moments in it. It wasn't as. I was watching it like I'll watch this. This will be, and then I got kind of like Stockholm syndrome. By the end of it, I was like, "Yeah, go, Larry the Cable Guy."
You know what? I've heard the same thing about Paul Blart Mall Cop.
That's funny, actually.
That it's like actually kind of funny
Yeah,
watching
it's not
him
bad.
like roll around and be stupid. Like it can be kind of funny.
It's
I guess.
stupidly good.
Okay, now usually the sequel's better. So does that apply to Paul Blart as well?
You got to see the first one though. You can't see the second.
Yeah, you can't understand because you won't even know why he's even in the mall.
Yeah, the whole plot's,
I would imagine by the sequel, it's like he's out of the mall and it's like some kind of thing between him and Putin or something. The sequels always get ratcheted up. Or that's why it doesn't surprise me that Paul Blart, the original, would be funny because you got an hour and a half or so to do basically security mall guy jokes.
Exactly.
And there's enough of those. Not enough for a sequel. So now you got to go into outer space or something. If you're going to take the mall cop on a sequel, the CIA has to get involved. He has to have a mission of some kind. Because we did all the security guard mall jokes in the first one. So I want to say one thing. I'm very proud to let everyone know that this is the first episode of the Von Hessler Doctrine, but not the last, with our latest added element for the audience. The Von Hessler Doctrine, now with liquid glass. I want everyone to know. Yeah, you can go to all the competitors you want. You could like this, you could like that, but you know what they're not going to have is what we have, which is liquid glass. Which, if that sounds like nothing, unless you work for Apple, you know that it means nothing. Liquid glass.
You're not rearing for the update?
No, I'm not rearing for the update. I'm a little sad for Apple these days. You know, do we have a package with Apple where it's like their Genmojis or something?
Oh yeah,
like
I
that?
got it right here.
Was this after the Was this about the WWDC?
I think it was
thing
during
yesterday?
it, yeah.
Yeah, yesterday. And remember, they're 2 years behind all of their competitors in AI. but they do have liquid glass and something with their Genmojis.
Oh, this is great.
Now, in addition to turning a text description into a Genmoji, you can mix together 2 emoji to create something new, like a sloth and a light bulb, for that moment when you're the last one in the group chat to get the joke. You can even combine emoji with descriptions.
This is better than AI.
So if you're inviting your friends over for karaoke night,
Yeah.
you can mix a woman emoji with a microphone and add a sequin jacket.
Why can't it be a male? Why can't it be a man? Why
Yeah.
Can't be a
Why
man?
Men can have karaoke nights.
Hey, give me a...
That's the end of the world. And you need to send an emoji.
Yeah. Sloth and a light bulb to let everyone know you were the last one that, if you're like me and dullard, like my mind, completely dull. I can't even express myself.
What do you get when you combine the eggplant with the pregnant man emoji?
You get a lot of friends.
Okay.
Is what you get.
I'm going to do that then.
And probably an influence that you have not had up to this point.
Can I get paid?
Sure. You
Okay.
can always get, as long as you don't want to really work.
I don't.
If you just want to take off your pants, well, I don't know. There's some job there. You got to keep your body together, right?
Nah.
Can't let yourself go. If you want to
Chubby
be
chasers out there.
Yeah, that's true. You can throw yourself right into a niche. Yes.
Can I combine the Steve Jobs and the ashamed and embarrassed emoji?
That would be fantastic. There's a lot of stuff. I was looking at the Apple thing because I'm not as into it as I used to be, but I used to really kind of.
You live
get
in that
into
Apple ecosystem.
Well, the
believe me.
developers thing is it gives you a glimpse of the future because they're trying to get they want the developers to know what's coming so that in 6 months when they put the product out, they got a lot of stuff that's developed for it, a lot of apps.
It's always a push right before the holidays, it feels like, with the new phones and new ideas.
But the first thing now is to get the developers to start, working on these things. And they actually do have a lot of little cool little fix-it things that they're doing. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're 2 years behind in AI, especially after you lied to everybody and told them in that last phone, yeah, it's going to cost $1,700, but here's the good thing. You know what's coming? Some AI. And then it never came. I don't know if it was 1,700. Yeah, but it does light up like a rainbow around the screen.
That's awesome.
All those years. I wonder if that got whoever that scientist was who wrote that first scientific paper in the 1950s about artificial intelligence, if he had any idea that it would lead to that rainbow thing lighting up around.
Someday the computer will be as big as the city, running everything for you with artificial intelligence.
Now, again, I think you're selling this liquid glass a little bit short here. I just looked it up from Apple here. It's a translucent glass-like material that mimics real-world glass by reflecting and refracting light, adapting dynamically to content and surroundings.
It ain't glass if it can't cut you.
Expressive look. That sounds cool.
Yeah, have you
I
seen,
want that kind of glass.
They do it I don't know. It might be kind of cool. It's not glass, okay, everybody. It's not glass. It's the way that the apps look on the phone, which is you can see through them. That's liquid glass. They're no longer opaque. You can see through them. This great name, Liquid Glass. If I had a prog rock band, they wouldn't have been able to use it because I would have been smarter than them, and I would have been playing Athens 3 years ago with my band Liquid Glass.
Eric,
and it would have been trademarked.
But your colors now adapt to light and dark modes or the surrounding content
well, it has
with a new
to.
clear mode.
Okay, here's the deal. See, it has to because sometimes if everything's clear, if the background is wrong, you won't be able to read what app it is. Yeah. So they put that in like a positive thing. Hey, depending on the background, it'll shade it. Yeah, because you won't be able to read it otherwise. Because apparently they're out of ideas. Apple has not been in this kind of, they haven't been left behind. Like, they've had their moments, their scandals. They were turning off the batteries so they make you buy more. They've had those things. But they have not had a moment like this since the 90s when Steve Jobs went away before he came back, where they just completely missed something. Now, maybe they should just be the one company that says, AI, shmai.
Yeah, they didn't need porn. They don't need AI.
That's right. Well, first of all, it's harder for them to develop this stuff because they're about products, so their AI has to work within the phone itself. They don't really have it in the cloud for their stuff.
And wouldn't it also have to work with a pad and a computer?
Yeah, but it still has to work within products as opposed to all these other companies, Meta and stuff. They're not selling you a new Instagram pad. So like they're able to do all their stuff in the cloud and software and keep it updated and everything. For Apple, they have to have this product has to move in November of the year. Everything has to be. So they're not natural to it. I brought it up yesterday. I think when they gave up on the Apple Car, I think that's when they got, because if they would have gone with the Apple Car, because I think a lot of that Waymo stuff, didn't they spin that off, or they were going to buy Waymo? A lot of that technology was, if not in-house, circling around Apple when they were going to do the Apple Car. And I think it was a smart idea not to do an Apple Car. But I think once they got away from it, they got away from all the things that would have had them next to AI from like 2014 till now. And they're always selling all these phones. They're like, what are we doing with that? Just sell them some phone. Make something up. Anybody, hey, let's play that game where they do band names. Just pick out 2 different names and shove them together. Yeah, Liquid Glass.
Yeah, Wolf Fang.
Yes, it's the new Wolf Fang technology.
Next year's going to be an upgraded watch. That's what they'll do.
Well, they have
Liquid watch.
That's it, Tim. Liquid watch.
Do you not know that everything was put out there? And the big thing that they did, which is kind of smart in a lot of ways, is everything is 26. So the next the next phone is 26, the next watch, the next iOS is 26. Everything's 26.
What do you mean it's 26?
Because it used to be confusing because it'd be like, I've got the iPhone is 17 and the iOS, so now they're just going for the year after it comes out. So everything is going to be easier. And also, it will make you feel bad if you're more than 3 years behind. I think that's smart marketing. Like, if you get to 30 and you're still out of 26, you're like, ooh, nobody else is at 26. So it's
mine's
good.
vintage.
Yeah, vintage is a good way to go.
Vintage Apple.
That's the way to do it. So, that's pretty smart because they had, it was like the Mac Air 15 and this, the that, the other. Everything's 26 now. But who cares? They appear to be a dying company. I don't know.
We have another beautiful color. Perfect for spraying.
Spraying. Perfect for spraying.
For spraying.
Liquid Glass.
Thank you, Tim Apple. What were you going to say, Autumn Apple?
What do you think about a company like Apple who has solidified itself, at least in history, as being like a huge, groundbreaking company, putting a computer in all of our hands? What about if they just said, you know what, we did that, and now let's just continue to make money, not necessarily make more money every year?
Well, how do you, then first thing you have to do, you have to go to your employees and say, part of this is you guys don't ever want raises, ever.
No, they can still give them more money, right?
Well, not if you don't bring more in. I mean, if
they could probably still make more money every year. They're going to make, I'm saying they don't have to say, we need to make so much more money.
Shareholders expect every year.
They're public.
But I think that's part of the problem. That's where this stuff comes from, where it's like, we need to make a fake thing that we're adding to this, like Wolf Fang technology.
No, I know. But what you're asking them to do is to, and admittedly slowly, but you're asking them to slowly bleed out.
Yeah.
Just you want them to stop, let the world go past them. And
no, I don't mean don't innovate, but don't just build it just because you have to say something's new.
Well, let's go back a year. Don't lie to people and tell them you have AI when you don't.
Absolutely.
And so now they're like, oh, it's Liquid Glass, it's this, it's the other thing. And you got to give it to them. They called it Apple Intelligence. They didn't, they didn't.
It wasn't AI.
It wasn't AI.
It was a different A.
But they did, apparently. It was a different A. A.
Innovative A. Not the AI, not your mother's AI.
Yeah.
It was a C.
A.
That's right.
A. Mr. C.
Step into my office, Richie.
I also want to say, I got, sometimes you can get down in this world we live in now. But, and you hear a lot of stuff like, in America, they don't read anymore. We don't read anymore in America. Well, I can tell you after driving down 400, guy in front of me, more reading than driving. Who says we don't read anymore in America?
There we go.
There you go.
Was he reading on his phone?
No, I was reading on his phone. We were in kind of a traffic jam. It's like, it's the number one giveaway that you are more into your phone than actually driving your car when you cannot keep up with the traffic jam. That's the giveaway.
Oh,
and then
gotta move up.
And I'm looking at the guy, and also the other one is, I'm behind you. You know what that means? I should not be able to identify your profile. But if I can, I know that you're looking to the side, looking down.
You
at
should
your
find
phone.
them online with their username that you can see and tell them to hurry up.
That's
Get
what
off your phone.
And I used to get angry about this stuff, and now I just go, no, that's Eric. That's why you gave up on humanity. Oh yeah, okay, that's
It
right.
like proves that you're right. The
yeah.
worse people get.
Yeah, it is proof of concept. That
And so you should look at your phone.
That's a glass half full sort of.
That's a liquid glass.
approach.
That's a liquid glass half full. Is what
Ooh,
that
a liquid
is.
glass half full of liquid.
That's what Apple is. They see the liquid glass as half full. But I just, in a world where people have to be told not to read while they drive, it's over. The warning never should have been necessary. It never should have been necessary. Adult human beings should have said, wow, I've heard about people dying in these things called cars. I've heard of it. And accidents and things like that. I'll tell you two things I'm going to firewall: driving and reading. Boy, and now I live in a world where technology says that, some stupid thing can read the story to me. Yeah, that's not good enough.
Yeah, the voice doesn't sound good.
Jared can do it,
Well, he claims that he can.
You weren't here, but he recorded a promo for the Nightcap while he was driving in the car.
Sure did. Used the cradle on my little hands-free.
By the way, I hate that too. I see it on YouTube all the time. It's gotten to the point
the
where
cradle.
I don't care if you're Einstein. if the YouTube thing starts and you're in the car and I'm not listening to it.
Hey guys,
that's it. That's it. I'm not why is the car? Why do you find that to be a place interesting to speak to me from?
Sometimes people, since Trump, honestly, really since Trump, he's forced everybody to go back to the office, Eric.
Yeah.
The car is now an extension of the office, and people have to get work done.
Great. Well, that's probably why they're reading more than they're driving. They're getting their work done.
Exactly.
It's all starting to come together for me.
When David Muir is late for work, he does it from his phone.
That's
while
what.
he's there.
Yes.
I'll be there soon.
Making sure to get the bright profile, not the one that shows the.
Oh, not his left side, only his right side.
It's not one. He doesn't like the way his nose looks from the left. I think is what it is. And his nose looks perfectly fine. Isn't it always that way? We identify some part about our face that we don't like.
Yeah.
Usually
We
nine
think
times.
everybody else sees that too.
Yeah, but in 9 times out of 10, there's something else about your face that's like way obvious to everyone else that's wrong, and you don't even see it.
He was polled one of the most trusted people in news.
Who did that? ABC Research? Who did that polling? Who even walks around? Let's just call 10 random people and say, what do you think of David Muir? I'll guarantee you at least 8. Yes, right. Yeah.
I would say who? David Muir could walk into this room and I wouldn't know who he is.
Well, if you saw the right profile, you would.
I guess so.
You can stand under his nose when it's raining.
Huh? What?
I said you could stand under his nose if it's
Oh,
raining.
for heaven's sake. You got to watch Tim lately. I can tell he's in one of his moods this last couple of days. He's ready to take on the world. Yeah,
I'm
yes,
happy.
yes,
I'm
yes.
quite content.
Oh, I'm very content. That's usually what happy people usually. I'm quite content. That usually is what will happen. Like during a fireworks show or something, you'll turn around. People go, "Well, I'm quite content."
Well, this is a very beautiful display.
As things are exploding.
I can't wait to go home and listen to my neighbors shoot them off till 5 in the morning.
Well, I got a neighbor in my neighborhood, and he won't let it happen. He's above the law. He's more than the law, apparently, because the law is that you're allowed to have them in your neighborhood unless there's some kind of special fire warning going on or something.
But like 4th of July, for example, and New Year's, you're definitely allowed to shoot off fireworks.
Yeah, not in my neighborhood because this guy
That is really
beat
strange.
you up.
When people feel like, other people are not allowed to exist in their own ways in your neighborhood with you, like they can only exist under your specific rules.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, he told me that the debris was falling on his house, but I didn't necessarily believe it. It wasn't like the wind was blowing or anything like that. I mean,
And what does he think? This is like a forest fire? This is a firework that exploded in the air and is now falling down. It's not hot.
What I thought,
you can land on your head and you're fine.
What I thought, get a bunch of hoses and just hose your house down until we're done.
Come on.
You were just aiming at his house a little bit, right? Just kind of like slightly tilting the mortar.
I didn't even know where his house was. I didn't even know I was like this big burly guy.
So nobody shoots off fireworks in your neighborhood because of one guy.
Because of that guy.
Because of Ralph Henderson.
That guy. And, what was I going to do, fight him?
We can't beat up all of you.
Yeah, but he could beat up me, and that's all I care about.
Okay, well, I
I'm
understand.
not lay there on the ground with blood coming out of my ear.
That, so let him. Then he'd be in trouble, so let him try.
Yeah, but maybe I wouldn't be able to think as well. either after it was over. You know, there's always that chance.
Then that's a lawsuit, and then you never have to work.
But I also wouldn't be able to go to the bathroom by myself.
Drooling in his
there's-
backyard.
But you got $1 million.
I got $1 million. I just can't go to the bathroom anymore by myself.
You need to
buy a nice dribble bib.
You need to band together with your neighbors that are pro fireworks and just take this guy on. Have like a big street fight.
Yeah?
For those that are pro fireworks on one side and those that are anti
Anchorman or something like that. We just have
Kinda
a
like that.
showdown.
Have a big showdown in the neighborhood. See who wins.
I don't care who the overall gang which wins. What I care about is me getting hurt. Oh, hell, thank goodness as the blood is draining out of the back of my skull. We won, though, right? Huh? His last words were, "Did we win?"
With thousands of 5-star reviews, it's no wonder CertaPro Painters is Greater Atlanta's most preferred painting company. Hear from one of their happy customers.
We wanted to add some color to our walls, so we hired CertaPro. We had built-in shelves that were supposed to be ready to paint when they got there, which they were not. CertaPro spent hours caulking and sanding to make sure the job was done right. It's rare to find a crew with integrity who really take pride in their work.
When choosing a painting professional, choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
A DUI conviction is life-changing with serious ramifications both personally and professionally. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. Make the smart call to George Stein, the DUI lawyer. You've got a 30-day deadline to save your license. Go to georgestein.com.
We are here with CFP Matthew Decker of the Vincent Financial Group and host of Retire ATL. And Matt, you've said that income is the outcome that matters the most in retirement. But what income streams require the most attention?
Yeah, so if you've got a pension or if you're living off of Social Security, you kind of know those income streams show up in your mailbox. That's mailbox money. It's almost like you're still working, and it doesn't really require that much attention. But most people that come into the office today, they are having to use their 401ks, their IRAs, SEP Simples, 403bs that are invested in the market to generate income. And anytime you're going to use a market-linked asset where you have to go in and decide when you're going to buy and sell to generate your income, it takes a ton more effort, energy, and attention to get that piece of the puzzle right. But it doesn't actually have to be that way.
So, Matt, the number one fear of adults in retirement is outliving their money. How do we get started building income today?
Well, you can get started today. You'd call us for a no-cost, no-obligation retirement roadmap. We want to build a GPS for you that's going to help navigate retirement, and it's going to have a focus on building and preserving income. 770-280-1488. We've got a representative standing by to talk to you right now. 770-280-1488. Our home office is in downtown Woodstock, but we are available across the metro Atlanta area to meet with you at a time and place that fits your schedule. Again, 770-280-1488 or online at retireatlradio.com.
The team at Vincent Financial Group want to help preserve your assets while building retirement income that lasts as long as you do. Call today for your complimentary retirement roadmap, 770-280-1488. And you can always get more at retireatlradio.com and join us for Retire ATL Sundays at 6 p.m. right here on WSB.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
How easy is it to save energy and money in seconds? Power down unused devices, swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs, and adjust your thermostat for the season. Get more tips at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather, traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 3:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by Vincent Financial. WSB's top local story: a lower court must review 2 rules passed by the state election board after the Georgia Supreme Court invalidates 4 of the 7 the board passed just before last year's presidential election. The justices ruled the board exceeded its authority. The rules tossed out include measures on hand counting ballots and certifying results. Justices sent back 2 other rules, saying that the court needed to determine who has standing to bring the case. Electricity is restored in Avondale Estates after falling trees take out power lines on Covington Highway. The trees crumpled a couple of cars and hit an apartment building. Georgia Power crews cut and cleared the trees and put up new poles. Former Clayton County Sheriff Victor Hill teases a run for Capitol Hill. His Facebook page says the quote-unquote wrongfully convicted former lawman will announce a campaign for Congress tonight at 7:30. Facility upgrades are on the way for the Cobb County Jail, but it follows a very lively exchange between a couple of commissioners and the Cobb County District Attorney.
At today's Cobb Commission meeting, a heated exchange over money to replace an aging HVAC system at the jail.
What's the truth? Because again, you come into my office, you told me they were 28 years old. Now today you're saying they're 38 years old.
Mrs. Gambrill.
It's Commissioner Gambrill.
Commissioner Gambrill, and my name is Mr. Brody. Please read your agenda item. They were in place in 1987, which makes them 38 if my math is correct.
In a 4-0 vote, commissioners did approve over $1.7 million for the new HVAC chiller at the jail. Graham Carroll, 95.5 WSB.
There is a soda recall today. The FDA is recalling some Dr. Pepper products because they are mislabeled. Now, these are the Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar ones in the aluminum cans. They were sold in 12 and 24 packs. Well, we've learned today that even though they're labeled zero sugar, they actually may contain the full sugar product. These have a best buy date of February 16th, 2026, and they were sold in 3 states, including Georgia. It's 3:32. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather brought to you by George Stein Steel Horse Law. Alex Williams has the official diagnosis of raining buckets out there. So how's that rain affecting the drive this afternoon?
Yeah, it really is just coming down in buckets out there, Veronica, and it's already made a mess of downtown. 75, 85, both north and southbound. You're going to find brake lights anywhere between the 85-400 merge and really Highway 166 Langford Parkway. Now, heading up toward Norcross, we had a stall in a center lane, 85 northbound, Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99, and Georgia State Patrol all on scene with that. They're holding all lanes right now. The interstate is shut down as they try to get this off to the side, but you're stacked up as you leave 285. Think about using Beaufort Highway as an alternate. Also, if you're traveling 285 over on the east side into Cobb County, that's all. Where we're seeing very heavy rain, 285 in north and southbound, on and off the brakes on the wet pavement between I-85 and Dorville and I-20 over there in the Decatur area. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Upwards. Partly cloudy with a few pop-up showers through the afternoon, high 84. Drying out for tonight, lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, pleasant, high 87. Thursday, an isolated pop-up shower can't be ruled out, but mainly dry, high 88.
Temperatures dropped a little bit right now. It's looking like 74 degrees here in Midtown Atlanta at 3:33. More news at 4 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. I know what's important to you when you're looking for a new deck. You want the work done with quality workmanship, on time, within your budget, and built correctly. Getting a new deck from Ben Hill Renovations checks all the boxes. And when it comes to new decks, pretty much anything you can imagine, Ben Hill can do. And they're all backed by the Ben Hill Workmanship Warranty. Swing by the new Ben Hill Renovations showroom in Douglasville and talk to one of their designers. Or see them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
Getting engaged? At Shane Company, we'll help you find the perfect diamond. This is your engagement ring, aka only your life's most important piece of jewelry. No need to worry. As gemstone experts since 1929, we handpick only the most beautiful natural and lab-grown diamonds cut to our high standards in every price range. We have diamonds in all shapes and sizes, ready to compare side by side right here in our store. Come see for yourself at shaneco.com or at your local store. No appointment necessary. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
With Orchard, you can buy your new home before selling the old one and get paid twice. Cash up front now, more cash when it sells. Get started at Orchard.com. Get paid twice. Orchard.com.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Multiple contractors and estimates for your home projects? What a hassle. Instead, trust the Plus. Painting Plus.
Hi, I'm Charlie, owner of Painting Plus and the Plus family of businesses. We're reliable, fully licensed, and insured. No muss, no fuss. Trust the Plus and leave everything on your list to us.
If your home's exterior has it, the Plus can improve it. Painting Plus. Siding, gutters, windows, decks, porches, roofing, and more. Trust the Plus. PaintingPlus.com.
You know, it turns out that today is Autumn Fisher's birthday.
Of course it is.
Yay.
And
always, you know that it always falls on National Forklift Safety Day. There's always.
See,
That's why I'm so
float.
passionate about it.
I know, yes. And so, I like my old routine, I opened up Amazon.com and I was going to say, hey, whatever you want, Autumn, but then I remembered she doesn't like the oligarchs.
Yeah.
She doesn't like Jeff Bezos, and she doesn't want to accept anything from him.
I can
so
give you my Venmo.
I don't want to Temu. What, I'm gonna buy her 9,000 gadgets.
A truck a day for a month.
$15. I'm not on Venmo, by the way.
What's a forklift?
I'm not on the Venmo.
I'm on Zelle. I got
I'm not on
PayPal.
Zelle.
She got PayPal. There you
Okay,
go. Oh, no, but you
PayPal.
only do the Apple thing.
No,
I have
do
Apple
PayPal.
Cash. Send me Apple Cash, yo.
Hey, whoa! That is not a very.
I'm just coming up with
seems
solutions.
That
If you
just
need a-
seems very.
I didn't ask. You're offering.
You
No, I
made me
just don't-
cupcakes on my birthday. I like that new tradition of not spending money, just giving me something that came from your heart.
Did I make you cupcakes on your birthday?
No, we're just.
Oh, okay. So I would.
Come on.
I would have.
Come on, Aaron.
I
What are you,
would
my
have.
wife?
Huh? I didn't really know where you were going with that, but I would have. From now on, that's what I'm going to do.
Duncan
you know what?
Hines.
I'm
Jane, make Tim some cupcakes.
I'm sending you some cupcakes, Autumn,
Okay.
but they're going to come from Amazon, so you're going to have to.
Oh,
you know.
shoot. Okay, man.
Oh, I suppose I'll PayPal you something. We'll see. We'll see how the show goes. See how the show goes. How is the
Yeah,
birthday?
conditional love. It's
Birthday
fine.
attitude. All love is conditional. Don't believe it's all love is conditional.
For our super secret streamers that watch us now, we can have like a little.
They're only
ticker.
secret because WSB doesn't care about them. That's the only reason they're
We
secret.
could put like a little ticker on there, and it shows how much money Autumn's raised for herself. So it's starting at like $1 now, and then
Oh.
by the end of the show, maybe it's at like 200.
Yeah.
maybe
Do we
it's-
have somebody to do that, or are we just talking about? No, it can
Jared,
never
can you-
happen. Is there any possibility
Yeah,
that
make
could
it
even
happen,
happen?
You can do it over there at the switcher, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Put
Yeah,
up a
of
little
course I do
poll.
that over here.
Put up a little poll. You guys are helping me get out of a kind of not. I wouldn't say a bad mood when I came in, but I made the mistake of watching a little bit of this guy that I can't stand. This Alex Karp, the head of Palantir, and I've really gotten good at not getting angry at things. Like I've accepted the yearly ritual of Andy Reid and Patty Mahomes stopping my Buffalo Bills. Like that used to make me really mad, and now it's like, oh well, that's kind of the way that it is.
It's January now.
No, I'm very good. I'm very good at just sort of like, as I get older, not letting the things that used to make me angry. But whenever I see this guy Alex Karp talk at Palantir, the hippie Dr. Strangelove, and he's more like. By the way, your tax money, I looked at it since 2003, $8 billion to Palantir. $8 billion. So that they can create a profile on you that maybe could be used to blackmail you or humiliate you someday. I don't. So, but he's actually I call him the hippie Dr. Strangelove, but I was watching him today and it's like, you know how Quentin Tarantino is a great writer and director, but you can't watch him speak for more than 5 minutes without getting antsy. This guy's kind of like the Quentin Tarantino of death merchants. Well, some kid's got to die.
He is very uncomfortable.
I mean, grow up. It's put your big boy pants on. It's like sometimes kids got to die.
Yikes.
He is uncomfortable. I get what you're talking about.
He's got that weird lisp. And by the way, I cannot stand this guy so much. There will be real attacks and, oh yeah, ad hominem. Anything I can find. Anything I can find on this guy. Real attacks based on policy and what his company does. But, if I think his nose is funny, I'm going to tell you. If I think he's got big ears, I'm going to tell you. Ad hominem attacks are right there allowed with this guy. $8 billion. And basically, I was like, how much power does this lispy moron have?
The company, their only client for years was the CIA.
Yeah, and now it's now they're. I looked at how many different.
He's worth $11.6 billion.
He's worth a lot more than that, and the reason he's a lot more than that, he's worth a lot more than that is he knows the secrets about people who are a lot richer than he is, which makes him as wealthy as them, if you know what I mean.
Well, everything he says is beautiful, and we have no problem working together.
Me? Yeah. And thank you, MAGA. Can we have a big round of applause for MAGA? Because they gave us Elon, and he gave us Alex Karp, and now turns out that's what all Doge ever did was create a different deep state. Oh, hell, Eric, as MAGA, I didn't say I didn't like the concept of the deep state. I simply didn't like the one we had.
It's a better one.
It's a better one now that we have Alex Karp and Palantir.
They told me to go ahead and do whatever they say, and I love it. I like the money they gave me.
It's not the deep state. It's the Karp state now.
It's
right?
the Karp
state, yes.
We're good. So, yeah, congratulations. Thanks to MAGA, obviously. I got it wrong. I thought you didn't like the deep state. It turns out you just didn't like that one.
Hey, we had no idea.
Yeah, but you're going to do nothing about it. You're not going to
well,
call.
I like Trump.
I know. See, there
Case
you go.
closed.
That's it. That's all.
He's rounding up people that don't look like me.
It turns out, it turns out that MAGA wasn't about all this reform. They were about the same thing that every other movement in America has been about. We wanted to win, and we won. So now we got to protect it.
I love you too.
Yep.
I
back
love
at
you too.
Right back at you. Thank you, MAGA. You've put Palantir deeper than the deep state was. That's very, very nice.
Eric?
Yes, Mr. President.
I know you're talking about these billionaires, but I wanted to let you know there's something really spectacular taking place this Saturday.
Oh, is this the big parade
all
coming
over
up?
the city? No, well, I mean that's the best, but you can't be there.
Okay.
We're going to be celebrating No Kings.
Oh,
I got this beautiful thing, No Kings,
Yeah,
right? It's fantastic. I celebrate No Kings, our beautiful
Okay,
republic.
A bunch of rallies, right?
I think, are they MAGA rallies? I don't know. What are they?
I think they're anti-MAGA.
I think they're anti,
rallies.
yeah.
Oh, you
As
mean like
president.
Antifa and things like that?
I don't know. I think that they're anti-you, I think.
Do you want to hear a couple of these? You could go to one.
Oh, are you encouraging me to go to an
Go to
anti-Kings
them.
rally?
Well, Palantir will be around.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure everybody's eyeballs will be scanned at the No Kings rally by Palantir. Absolutely.
It kicks off at the Georgia State Capitol, Freedom Park, or whatever it is, 10 a.m. to noon. It's that's sign waving and a rally.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have the King Center to Piedmont Park. That's a march.
Yeah.
And then you have Atlantic Station overpass from 1 to 4 p.m. So if you're trying to drive from Atlantic Station to Midtown, that's just scratching the surface there. Auto,
somebody.
Whatever. Decatur at Claremont Place. That's a big
Somebody
deal.
said to me, "Hey, don't be in the city this weekend." And I had to remind them, the last time I was in the city was the Rolling Stones concert. Like, going into the city is not like,
in the city?
yeah.
Well, if you want to go close by, you got Johns Creek. You live close to there,
Okay,
right?
there we go.
Peachtree Parkway and McGinnis Ferry.
I think you're pushing something that's anti-you, but that's fine. That's good.
If you live in Tucker, like Tim, you could go to the North Lake Festival Shopping Center, grab some Chick-fil-A, take your kids, drop them off at the bouncy place there.
Yeah.
They got the trampolines. And then do a nice, lovely, what do they call it? The march.
The best thing about it is that once again, the little people are being protected by the big people, the rich people, because isn't it the wayward Walmart girl who's the Walmart lady?
Oh,
who's
Mrs. Walton?
Yeah, these all of these uber rich families have like the one young kid who decides, oh, I'm going to live off the excesses of capitalism, but I'll denounce it at the same time.
Isn't one of the Gettys like that?
Yeah, of course. They
they
are.
created that anti-oil
You know what?
thing.
After 40 years of not putting in one single day of work, I've decided to hit the. I've decided to stick up for the working man
Damn
and
right.
woman.
Go glue your hand to a road.
Now, I am curious. Is there going to be anything on my side of town, the west side part of town there?
No, that's too scary even for them.
Nothing over on Rice Street?
Hand gluing. That's what I want to do. That's what I want. Somebody tell me where I'm supposed to glue my hand.
Right here on the road.
In order to make a difference.
So between that on Saturday with all these
if you
marches.
glued your hand to a road and then you saw an 18-wheeler coming, I don't care if it's Gorilla Glue. You're getting out of there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You're going to leave half your
You
hand.
leave your
You're
hand
like
there.
a fox chewing off your own arm.
Yes. There's a guy that 18-wheeler, and he doesn't even read the news. He just doesn't care. What were you going to say?
Nothing there, but your hometown of Fayetteville, there's a beautiful rally taking place at the old Fayette County Courthouse.
I'm going to be so torn, Mr. President, because apparently during the Army's 250th birthday and your birthday, at the very end, there's going to be a parachuter that comes in and brings you an American flag. I have to choose between watching that or going to one of these rallies.
That'll be amazing.
Please tell me the parachuter must absolutely bow before presenting the flag.
He better.
Topical.
I feel for you if you've been working from home.
Local.
They're suing the landlord. The lawsuit filed in Cobb County Superior
Getting
Court.
you through your
It's
morning.
good stuff for this show. It's good stuff for the radio station.
Mark Arrow.
That's about all I ask.
Mark Arrow.
Tomorrow at 9 a.m.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
Going back to college, I have sent my father Omaha Steaks for Father's Day because who doesn't love steak? Dads love steak. A recent survey showed 75% of Americans agree there's no better way than to spend Father's Day than grilling with the family. Dads love to grill. I remember great memories as a kid of my dad grilling. Now I do. And I get him Omaha Steaks, and you can too. Shop omahasteaks.com and give your dad the legendary Heartland quality he deserves. Plus, my listeners get an extra $35 off when you put Eric in, E-R-I-C-K, as your promo code at checkout. Unbelievable quality from Omaha Steaks. I am a longtime gift giver of Omaha Steaks. My dad loves Omaha Steaks. Your dad will too. Go to omahasteaks.com, load up your cart with deliciousness, get $35 off, minimum order required, when you use promo code ERIC at checkout. That's omahasteaks.com. You'll get an extra $35 off with promo code ERIC at checkout. Your dad will love you for it.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Belinda Skelton here with Atlanta Vision Institute's very own Dr. Ashraf, who is one of the most experienced eye surgeons in the country. Dr. Ashraf, we've all watched the news and the economy is uncertain, but failing eyesight isn't. And if you've held back due to finances, we've got good news for you, don't we?
Yes, Belinda, as you know, our eyesights degrade as we age. And with the laser optics procedure, that resets all of that. And most of my patients go most of the day without glasses. They can even read their phone without glasses. And in terms of the economy, most of these patients, their medical insurance can cover most of the costs. And if it doesn't, we have a lot of good financing options for this procedure.
That's awesome, Dr. Ashraf. I urge you to take the quiz to see if you're a candidate. Go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
The Scott Antique Markets is back at the Atlanta Expo Center, featuring hundreds of vendors with collectibles and merchandise from all over the world. We're on both sides of I-285 exit 55 on Jonesboro Road. Visit scottantiquemarket.com for more information.
Remodeling your home's exterior requires expertise, experience, and attention to detail. That's what I built my business on. Hi, I'm Scott Nelson, owner of Nelson Exteriors. I'm the siding and windows expert you hear on the Home Fix-It Show, with decades of experience for all things exterior. Windows, siding, painting, roofing, decks, doors, and gutters, all with unmatched quality and craftsmanship. Even the small details are a big deal to us. Get your free estimate, Google Nelson Exteriors.
A DUI conviction could cost you your career, threaten your way of life, and even compromise your future job prospects. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler. With all this on the line, trust only the best. George Stein, the DUI lawyer. Go to georgestein.com.
EMC Security.
When an alarm goes off at your home, every second counts. With EMC Security's remote video monitoring, once your alarm is triggered, our team can instantly monitor cameras you give us access to, assess the situation, and send appropriate information to first responders. Get real peace of mind whether you're home or away. Get a free quote on video monitoring today at emcsecurity.com.
EMC Security, smart protection for a safer tomorrow.
Oh, you know what Alex Karp says? Sometimes you got to kill some kids to make an omelet. Oh, do we have him? I'm bringing this guy, and then we'll move past it. I mean, Apple's not going to be the biggest. The biggest company in the world at some point is going to be Palantir, because they've got. I mean, I looked at all the contracts they have. It's just all over everything in business, and they're trying to make a. Basically, now they've gotten like 173 million billion. I don't know. Pick one. I don't know which one it is.
A lot of money.
Doesn't matter anymore.
The quadrillion.
Yeah. To basically get a profile of each American. Again, MAGA, thank you. Well, this whole deep state thing you were on.
You're welcome.
Really, really worked out. And that profile it'll be everything you've ever bought online in your entire life. And it could be like, well, what? I don't buy things. The thing is, once you get enough information on somebody, data, then you can start figuring out who they are, what they do, how to pull their strings, how to peer pressure them into certain things, what matters to them, what doesn't matter to them. And then I saw this on Glenn Greenwald's show. Yes, I still watch Glenn Greenwald, and he seems to be doing fine. He's just kind of marching on. George Clark tried to get me to watch this scandalous video. I want to say this.
He sent it to me directly to my DMs.
Do you know what I wanted to say about that is because it's it's being used to character assassinate him. I mean, he's a gay guy, and I don't know why this thing was recorded during a thing, but people are like, Eric, how come you haven't watched it? This may seem like a quaint notion because there's nothing illegal happening in this video. This may seem like a quaint notion in America in 2025. I'll tell you exactly why I haven't watched it. It's none of my business. What somebody does, it's none of my business. Now, why somebody recorded that, I have no idea. Don't record yourself doing anything in this world.
To that point, people don't care about that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. But I mean, it is being used. I don't know who's behind it or whatever, but it is being used to, because he's making too much sense. And, So yesterday I watched, and he was, this was some audio they had of this Alex Karp, the head of Palantir, who's been given 173 million or billion or something to work up a profile of each person who lives in America that can be accessed by any, Trump says no more silos. So you can be accessed from any government department to another government department. And this is his idea of what you do to create social change.
It's the most effective way for social change is humiliate your enemy and make them poor. And that's how social change actually happens.
So the guy who has been given $173 million to create a profile of every person in America says that he says if you want to make change, how you do it, you humiliate your enemy and you make them poor. I can't think of anybody better. I can't think of any better hands to deliver. Again, MAGA, thank you. Not that these guys were around. They've been around for a while, but.
Well, that's straight out of Trading Places. That was the whole goal. Get the rich guys above them and make them poor, and that's how you ruin their lives.
Well,
this guy's not original, Alex Karp.
You know what? That's the worst part.
Yeah.
The whole thing about just willy-nilly being responsible for death and all over the globe, that's one thing. But to not be an original thinker,
exactly.
That is the part that, to me, that's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
You liked him up until I told you.
Up until that, with his, I like his hippie Dr. Strangelove. Hey, after we're done killing all those innocents, let's go out the parking lot and play some hacky sack.
Yeah, let's go chill.
Hey, yeah, woo. The thing about this guy is it would be nice if when people bring up the downside of his work that he would just take one moment and go, yeah, that's not good. That's all it takes, like a little humanity to say, I'm not happy with that. That's a scary world. If he spoke like that, it's a scary world. It's a big, bad world. sometimes innocent people die, and that's not a good thing. But, I've decided that we need to, maintain. It's never like that. It's always just
that's a big reason why Trump did get so popular in some places, right? Is because he didn't talk like a politician.
Yeah, no, but Alex Karp's not a politician. He's a CEO of a company. So, I mean, he's responsible for, I'm just saying like that's interesting to people and makes them feel like this person is normal when they are like a human. Right. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
And so you're saying like you wish that person would.
But
be
I think
more
it's
like
human.
that.
No. I'm saying I'm not. What I just gave an example of to me does not ring as corporate speak. I think that
That's
if somebody
you're saying you want that from this person.
Yes, I do. Yeah, okay.
And that's why Trump, I think, got where he was in some ways was because he was speaking, even though he says crazy things, it's still like exactly from his brain.
Yeah. And that would be nice to know. And I think Alex Karp does too. But the part about having any empathy whatsoever for any innocent victim of his products, it's just not there. So he would actually be insincere if he actually started saying, yeah, that's a shame. So I guess he is
what
doing.
What do you want from him, Aaron?
What I want him to do is learn how to play golf, go away, leave the country alone. I want real competitors. Supposedly they have competitors, but I don't know how you could call it competitor when basically he gets every damn account in the government of the United States.
Yeah, last month he just got a $795 million modification to an existing contract, so it's a lot more than
Yeah. And after we kill those people, it's free pizza and ping pong. Huh? Isn't this a great place to work?
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Visit my friends at Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort. This is Scott Slade. They specialize in exquisite handcrafted fine jewelry and natural mined diamonds, never mass-produced. It's where I've been doing business for over 25 years. Tara Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort.
When you get hurt, you don't want to end up on the injured list. You want to get back in the game, stronger than ever. At Morgan & Morgan, we're the home run hitters you need. Morgan & Morgan.
Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Atlanta summers are known for 2 things, heat and humidity. And if you have a vented crawl space, well, that's exactly what you're allowing into your home. It's like leaving the door open and your AC bill is going up. Christina Upwards here. Beat the heat and call my friends at American Crawl Space Solutions. They will encapsulate your crawl space, keeping the air under your home cool and dry. AmericanCrawlSpaceSolutions.com, your best value for crawl space repair.
American Crawl Space Solutions, foundations too.
Here at Massey, we know a thing or two about bugs. We've been keeping pests out of homes for almost 100 years. Our customized pest prevention program keeps bugs outside, in their home, not yours. Because when we prevent pests from getting in, we protect health, home, and family. Make your home a Massey home. Schedule your free inspection today at MasseyServices.com. Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
WSB Atlanta, WSBB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
news,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
At 4 o'clock, I'm Veronica Waters. News is brought to you by D. Geller & Son Jewelers. WSB's top local story this half hour is a weather warning for you as the National Weather Service issues a severe thunderstorm warning for central Forsyth County, northeastern Gwinnett, and southwestern Hall County until 4:15 this afternoon. Forecasters say a severe thunderstorm was located over Cumming, moving east at 15 miles per hour. Stay with WSB for continuing updates on the developing weather. Federal agents announced an indictment against an Atlanta man following the largest fentanyl seizure in Georgia's history.
Investigators say the operation they uncovered was capable of producing 25,000 pills an hour. Federal agents seizing enough fentanyl to kill 48 million Americans during raids on 3 properties tied to 47-year-old Bartholomew Harrelson, who is now facing federal charges. U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg.
If convicted of the offenses in the indictment, Mr. Harrelson faces at least 40 years in prison and the possibility of life imprisonment.
Officials say the investigation is ongoing and they expect more arrests. At FBI Atlanta, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It's 74 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards had forecasted that we were going to continue to see some stormy weather, pop-up showers this afternoon like you're seeing out there. Highs in the mid-80s today, and it's going to dry out later with lows in the mid-60s. Atlanta's most accurate and dependable forecast is coming up. The Georgia Supreme Court strikes down 4 of 7 election rules passed ahead of the November 2024 election, saying they exceeded their authority on the state election board. The invalidated rules include measures on hand counting ballots and certifying results. Now, 2 other rules have been sent back to a lower court for further review over just who has standing to sue. Only 1 rule of 7 was upheld. This one requires video surveillance of drop boxes after polls close. Jurors are hearing evidence today in the Fulton County trial of a man accused of kidnapping his children and starving his 4-year-old daughter to death. Prosecutors say Rodney McWay's daughter, Treasure, died 2 weeks after DFACS had taken her and her 2 brothers from his squalid apartment in southwest Atlanta. McWay had traveled to Maryland and brought the kids back, and then he withheld food and water from Treasure, who was only 24 pounds when she died. A Snellville father accused of leaving his 2 kids in a hot car faces felony charges in Cobb County.
After receiving a tip from a witness, Cobb police find 2 children ages 1 and 2 years old inside a car parked at the Cumberland Mall. According to a warrant, they were left alone for more than 40 minutes with no air conditioning in 80-degree weather. The officers recorded the temperature inside the car, where each child was sitting at 104 and 106 degrees. Jaquan Dixon is charged with 2 counts of second-degree cruelty to children. The kids were evaluated at a hospital. Dixon's out on $10,000 bond. Amanda Moyer, 95.5 WSB.
Former Clayton County Sheriff Victor Hill says he's going to run for Congress. His Facebook page is announcing a campaign announcement tonight at 7:30. The write-up says the quote-unquote wrongfully convicted former lawman is going to go to Capitol Hill to protect and defend those who cannot defend themselves. The Marine Corps Commandant says hundreds of Marines that deployed to the L.A. area on White House orders have not yet been called to respond to the city's immigration protests. General Eric Smith says they are only there to protect federal officials and property. The Gwinnett County Library wins a 6-figure grant from one of America's oldest philanthropic foundations.
We are just thrilled with this announcement. It is a Carnegie grant for $350,000, and we will use it to expand our English language program.
Library Communications Director Duffy Dixon says Gwinnett is one of just 11 libraries selected out of more than 1,400 who applied. K-pop superstars RM and V are the latest members of BTS to be discharged from South Korea's military after fulfilling their mandatory service. The pair began their service in 2023 after 3 other members were already months into their own conscription. BTS plans to reunite sometime this year. It's 4:04. The Von Haessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. But right now, we're going to kick off live team coverage of traffic and weather. Alex Williams, update that rainy commute.
Yeah, already seeing some standing water in DeKalb
DeKalb County, specifically in the Clarkston area from that heavy rain that came down. Standing water in the right lanes, 285 southbound, the inner loop at East Ponce de Leon Avenue, exit number 40. So just stay to the left, use extra caution if you're coming down out of the Tucker area. Elsewhere, 85 northbound, still in recovery mode, leaving Chamblee Tucker up to where earlier stall and crashes have cleared at Jimmy Carter Boulevard. If you're traveling 75 northbound up toward Marietta, Kennesaw, and Ackworth, you're on and off the brakes. We've also had heavier rain in that area, so sluggish on the wet pavement from North Marietta Parkway all the way up to Highway 92 in Ackworth. And a crash clearing up on the southwest leg of town, Highway 166 Langford Parkway westbound at Delow Drive. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
I'm WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy with a few pop-up showers and thunderstorms through the afternoon, high 84. Drying out for tonight with lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, sunshine with a few clouds, high 87. An isolated pop-up storm on Thursday, but mainly dry, high 88.
Right now it's 73 degrees in Woodstock, 74 in Lithonia, and 74 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 4:05. More news coming up at 4:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 2 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. Can we get, listen, I don't usually complain about rain because I think rain is good.
Luke Bryan said it best. Rain is a good thing.
Now with the whiskey and the...
Sorry.
Luke Bryan never said anything best. He may have said some things worthwhile. But he never said anything.
Rain makes whiskey grow.
Hold on. Rain makes corn.
I know.
Corn makes whiskey.
And whiskey
makes my baby get a little freaky.
And the knee bones connected to the...
Yeah. It's a fair, what is it? Nursery rhymes, basically, about whiskey.
Water made the rain and the corn in my guts.
Yeah, I think that was an early demo. That was an early demo. He just.
I'm just spitballing, y'all. Hold on.
And then
corn is the rain that made my wife drunk.
Makes me vomit all night. No, that's not good.
Sometimes you can't digest corn.
Yeah. Well, these are sketches. This is a work in progress.
You know what? That song is great when you're sitting on the beach and you see a rain cloud coming your way. You're like, you know what?
Great.
Won't be
if
long.
I heard
hey,
you know what's awful is when you go to the beach and someone has like a speaker and they're playing their own music and it's like, I'm at the beach. I'm not here to hear your bad playlist.
Yeah, I want to hear like seagulls pooping on people.
Yeah,
I wanna,
sure.
Yeah,
at least that's what's happening around me. I'm trying to be in the moment.
Yeah, no, those are people who want a fight. So turn it up louder. Hey, we have a fight.
Water.
Yeah. No. You ever hear of earpods?
Yeah, in England they call them headphone dodgers. The people
Dodgers.
Am I right to say earpods or is it earbuds?
It's AirPod.
AirPods. I know I was getting it wrong.
Why aren't they buds?
Well, buds are everything else, and the AirPods are Apple.
Yeah, AirPods are Apple's product.
But also,
I put them together.
There were earbuds. I thought that's what the original ones were.
Remember Airbuds? Wasn't that?
That was a good movie.
That was a great movie.
It was really good. Yes. It's not in the rule that a dog can't play basketball.
It is
that
not.
That dog was a beast.
It turns out it is not in the rules.
Show me in the playbook.
LeBron better watch out.
All right, we have our underwhelming. I won't even call it a sounder, but we do need to get to this.
Whether you're shooting the ish or sitting in a pile of ish, it's time for today's ish.
That's right,
on
Jared.
The Von Haessler Doctrine.
Sorry, I jumped in there.
How could you step on Autumn on her birthday?
Because I'm a misogynist. I think we all know this about me.
Did you like the sound?
I did, but I think I'm getting rid of all sounders eventually. I think we want to be our version of liquid glass. Is that we will have no sounders.
A radio with no sound.
Radio with no sound. Liquid radio. I'm calling it right now.
Liquid radio.
Like Liquid TV. Remember on MTV they had Liquid Television?
Wait a minute. Apple stole this from MTV.
Yep.
Well, haven't we
That's
all?
That's where I watched Eon Flux.
Eon Flux or Elon Musk?
I said Elon Flux.
Yes, I'm going to find this woman who and lick my gun.
All right. More ish, Jared Yamamoto. Dish the ish.
Well, L.A. is getting ready for another night on edge as Trump's Marines have arrived in L.A.
Well, between Trump, CNN, and Fox News, they have engineered and manufactured a crisis that had no reason to be except oh yeah, I forgot. Left, right, or center. Power. Okay. So Gavin Newsom wants to be arrested.
He
Donald
he-
Trump wants to arrest him. Everybody wants what they want. And let me tell you who none of these entities care about. You. Or specifically if you lived in Los Angeles. Not about, as usual, all of this stuff has nothing to do with the people. I realize that the continual like ICE arrest and everything, because they're not coming anywhere near the numbers that they said they were going to, whatever. And the idea was, well, just keep doing it every day, and it'll seem like it's more people than, And I realize I think it will work in this sense, as long as you can get Elon's money back for the midterms. I think it will work. These everything having to do with these ICE raids and whether it gets big protest or not, it's really a nonstop political action committee TV ad that's rolling. That's good. It's like every time it's on the news, there are people who hate it, but there's also a lot of people who love it, and they just keep being reminded. In reality, behind the scenes, they're not hitting near the numbers. So they had to ratchet up the number of raids recently because Stephen Miller, according to many reports, basically said, this is embarrassing. Biden was getting rid of more immigrants than we are, and we have to. So whether it's real or whether it's not, it's got to look like we're doing way more than they were on this, and so that's why you get these kind of continuous things. And then it turned into, one power center realizing, oh, we can use that for our own power. So that's when the left comes in and decides to take their place in their performance. And then Americans sit down at night and watch this on the news as if it's some sort of episode of Law and Order. Dun, dun. And guess what? If you're going to sit down for a show, sooner or later the actors are going to show up and put on a show for you.
For sure.
And that's what I see right now.
Well, Gavin Newsom doubled down, Eric. He mentioned this.
I bet you he didn't say this. I want to cement the nomination of the Democrat Party for president in 2028. So please put me in handcuffs and perp walk me anywhere.
I told the president, just get it over with.
Yeah.
Arrest me.
Yeah.
Move on. If you need some head to scalp, do it with me, but stop messing with these kids.
Yeah.
These kids.
These nice kids who are setting cars on fire. Stop.
They're not all setting cars on fire. They beat up that Waymo, though.
That
wasn't even close.
Told it what's what. Gotta watch out for the beep cars. The beep cars are next.
The beep cars.
Yeah, beep. That's another brand. Another Waymo
How do they
brand.
spell it? B-E-P?
It's
I'm going to make a competitor called Honk.
Honk.
Destroy the honk cars.
Honk Tua is going to also.
Honk
there you
Tua.
go.
Yeah.
Boy. I have never.
Maybe tonight nothing will happen just like last night.
I need to. I know it's all manufactured crap. It's
Maxine
all.
Waters?
It's like they're sending like half the Marines there. What did we? Oh! What a surprise! It pulled wacky Maxine Waters out, so we can play her audio and act like, oh well, this is what every Democrat is. Like, yes, exactly. Come on. Hey, that inflation may have hurt you a little bit, but isn't this show a blast?
Don't miss the point, you all. Don't think that somehow, because they called out the National Guard, there was violence. There was no violence. I was on the street. I know. And I went from downtown detention back out into the community, talking to people what happened in Paramount, what happened in Compton, what happened in Inglewood. So, first of all, get it straight. And don't just rely on what you're being told or the few incidents that you saw.
Well, I mean, that's not her saying crazy stuff. I mean, whatever level of violence there is does not need 800 Marines, the National Guard, whatever. And also, it's up to that state to handle their business. Quite frankly, now if they get in the way of federal business that's going on, okay, and you got to take care of that. But I don't see how it ever got to the point of all these Marines going there and National Guard. That's about politicking.
It's an optic, right?
I don't know what. I mean, I have no idea. All I know is everybody wants it. CNN wants it. Fox News wants it. MSNBC wants it. The left wants it. The right wants it. MAGA wants it. And, I've never been closer to where I would, if I could just convince some really good doctors to find the investors to create a world-class hospital in the boondocks At my age, I would just go live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to be totally off the grid, but I want to be like a grid adjacent. Like
Sure.
I can get to the grid if I need to, but I don't want to be totally off of it.
You could like move
What
up
if
to.
you lived? Sorry, what if you lived in one of those like 55+ communities?
No.
Oh, villages?
He doesn't
No.
have there's too much sex.
No. Yeah,
Traffic's
I'm not
terrible around
interested
there
in that.
too, near the villages.
No, it's like,
the villages
hey,
isn't the only place.
Hey, my wife will go, hey, I met this great lady at the supermarket. I said, well, there we go. I wonder if we'll die or she'll die first. It's like, what?
I just mean you'll be like in a closed community and you wouldn't have to. I guess you would have to deal with a lot of.
No, you got to
old
deal with a lot of
dudes talking
people. It's
about
like,
stuff that
hey, you want to golf? What, for the 17th time this week?
You could.
You want to golf so we don't think about how we're dying?
What if you moved up? You like the mountains. You and Jane both like the mountains a lot. So why don't you move to the mountains? Put a giant slide in your backyard that slides into a hospital.
Into a hospital.
Right into a bed.
That's
So you're
all.
good to go.
Because we haven't really had, Jane's had the spinal surgery, but we haven't really had our first, well, I guess she's had her first thing like that, but I haven't yet.
Yeah. So
And
now, if you have that slide, you're good to go. The hospital's right there.
You know
You're
that
still
my
kind of
goal
remote.
in life is to survive the first heart attack. And I will not only die, but feel like a loser. There's nothing worse than that. On my way out, I'll be like, oh, I didn't survive my first one. Life was a
You might
failure.
not have a heart attack.
No, it's true. I may not. I think I'm probably going to do there'll be something in the brain will give way. A gasket.
like a-
gasket will blow.
What is that called? Just a thing that can happen at any second. any
Aneurysm?
moment? Yeah.
Strokes.
I want to fall over like Al Pacino at the end of Godfather 3. Then you're done.
Well, De Niro and the Irishman. He doesn't die, but he's walking down the hall, and all of a sudden he starts to slowly. It's the world's slowest fall. It's the world's slowest fall. Not a bad movie.
Reflects his movie career as well.
Falling.
He's
Very slowly.
He's already got his money.
Trump is a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I was at the Tonys here. Did you hear me yelling?
Was he yelling at the Tonys as
Trump
well?
is a son of a bitch.
Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise. He doesn't need the money. Although people aren't watching his movies now. He played 2 mobsters. Back in the day, if Robert De Niro plays 2 famous mobsters in one movie, that would have won the weekend. But that was back when you could win the weekend with a reasonable $42 million movie.
Here's De Niro here.
He's terrible.
I'm going to say one thing. Trump.
All right.
Trump.
No. Yeah, okay. We haven't heard it before. It's a
Line.
fantastic. But I don't care. I'm still gonna watch Taxi Driver. Autumn won't, because she just doesn't get it. Alex Williams says it's her brain just doesn't. Some people just aren't up to the art.
Hey, it's her birthday.
It's in front of her. I know it's her birthday, but
Yeah.
she still doesn't understand why Taxi Driver's great.
Yeah, because I'm not a dude who's like sullen and needs to.
But you'll talk about psychobabble forever.
I know, I
with
just didn't-
interest, but real
All right,
psychological.
you watch Steel Magnolias, and then we'll talk.
A real psychological story, you got no interest. Alex Williams says there's flooding on 285 in Clarkston.
That is right. Good afternoon, Eric. Been watching the heavy rain moving to our east and northeast, and it's caused some road flooding. It's in the right lane, 285 southbound, the inner loop in Clarkston, right where you exit to East Ponce, exit number 40. So use caution there. It's adding to the brake lights on 285 east and southbound, starting all the way back at Georgia 400. Elsewhere, that heavy rain, I just saw it on the jam cam coming down in buckets in Lithonia. So use caution on that wet pavement. It's causing some delays on I-20 east and westbound between 285 and the Conyers area as the rain moves out there. If you're traveling 285 westbound, the outer loop, you're seeing those brake lights start in Dunwoody, taking them into Sandy Springs as you head over to I-75 in Cobb County, right there next to Truist Park. It stays sluggish southbound through Smyrna Bindings down to I-20, the West Freeway. Traffic brought to you by Scott Antique Markets. The Scott Antique Markets is this weekend. There's no telling what you'll find. Visit the Atlanta Expo Centers at I-285 and Jonesboro Road. It's the Scott Antique Markets this weekend. ScottAntiqueMarkets.com. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
When the news matters to you.
The FAA says the flight crew was reporting possible smoke in the flight deck.
95.5 WSB has you covered.
Beef prices are going up.
Your 24/7 news source.
They had no ties to a gang, but they were killed by
When
them.
you need the story, all you need to do is listen. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's breaking news station.
The guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. Now you can save time and make the most money and eliminate all hassles this summer. Hey, Sean Hannity, Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast. Go to markspain.com and start packing.
From house hunting to boxing up your entire life, moving is hectic. That's why when my family and I moved, we chose Scana Energy as our natural gas provider. Their dependable customer service and great options made things really easy for Mama Bear and me. Now, if only they could help me find where the Cubs put the packing tape. Oh. For a limited time, receive a $60 bill credit when you sign up. Call 1-877-GO-SCANA or visit scanaenergy.com/mover60 for details. Limited time offer. Additional terms and conditions apply.
Dave Baker here for Ben Hill Renovations. I know what's important to you when you're looking for a new deck. You want the work done with quality workmanship, on time, within your budget, and built correctly. Getting a new deck from Ben Hill Renovations checks all the boxes. And when it comes to new decks, pretty much anything you can imagine, Ben Hill can do. And they're all backed by the Ben Hill Workmanship Warranty. Swing by the new Ben Hill Renovations showroom in Douglasville and talk to one of their designers. Or see them on the web at bhrenovations.com. Ben Hill Renovations, creating raving fans since 1964.
For many women in our community, support for our physical and mental health feels out of reach.
When your workday is long.
And your budget is tight.
And your village is busy.
And the road between home and help is a 6-lane highway with no crosswalk.
Northside Hospital believes women deserve better.
Northside is rolling up our sleeves and getting to work.
We got your house call.
Heard.
Learn more at northside.com/heard.
Well, I bet it is safe to say you are sick and tired of home services companies that don't show up on time, don't get it right, ghost you then when you need them later. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. I don't have to worry about any of that because I only trust TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. TE Certified is a well-oiled machine with the highest level of communication and follow-up. They're on time, friendly, and fully stocked.
TE Certified, we love your home.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Hey, it's Scott Slade for FGA Roofing. If your home's exterior could use an updated look, or maybe one of your neighbor's designer roofs has caught your eye, and your current roof has started to show its age, then now's the perfect time to check out FGA Roofing for the latest in architectural shingles, timberland shingles, and more. Slate, tile, wood shake, cedar roofs, FGA has them all. FGA Roofing offers 0% financing for 12 months with your good credit. Get the roof you want now and pay over time. Click firstgaroof.com. That's firstgaroof.com.
It's funny with all this stuff going on in L.A., there's the point that I'm at on the second season of Andor. Fantastic, great show, except for that one stupid woke storyline. But there's they're figuring out how to kind of take over a planet, and the one thing that the lady said, you need rebels who could be counted on to do the wrong thing. And so that's what I feel like is being ginned up here. Because once the rebels do the wrong thing, then everybody else says, I don't care about my rights. Come in here and clean this up. I mean, just it's interesting to watch both of them happen at the same time. And it just kind of shows that people are so predictable. But who cares? That's my new thing. You know, you guys should test my I don't care attitude. Like, just throw things at me that are happening in the world, and I'll see if I can let's see if I can throw it in the I don't care.
All right, I'll throw
bucket.
one at you.
Yeah.
Kanye West shocks with new name. His new name he wants to be is Yee Yee.
No, don't care. I don't
the
care.
new Harry Potter. The guy
the,
playing Hagrid, trying to distance himself from J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But I will say this: these people are full of it. And anybody who's a reader and enjoys those stories, and any actor who's going to be in it who believes that in their mind they've created a firewall between the story that she wrote and the author, is full of it. You're full of BS. And so what that means is you don't really believe it. You're not actually that angry at her because, like, for instance, so I guess I do care. I have an opinion, right?
See, this is not going to
So
work.
for instance, well, I think we're going to suss it out. It was not a challenge, but for instance, if I, let's say I was going to start a business with somebody and we got everything going with the business and then right before we signed the paperwork to go in business together, I find out that he killed 4 hitchhikers for no reason. Now, do you think I would be like, yeah, but the business plan is great. I got to stick with this. So, like, if something actually bothered you about what someone else did, and it really bothered you that much that you had to make a statement, then you wouldn't go in business with the person. So let me say this to every actor in Harry Potter. You are now in business with the author of the Harry Potter books. You see, if she'd never been born, you wouldn't have this job. Is that a difficult thing? This entire story came out of her head. So I'm not taking a stand on either side or how you should feel, but the theme here for the last couple of days is performative. This is all a performance. What's happening in Los Angeles, that the actors in Harry Potter can just barely cash their checks for playing in it because they can't stand that author so much. No, it doesn't bother you that much. If I was going in business with somebody and right before I put pen to contract, I found out, yeah, he killed 4 hitchhikers for no reason, I would not sign the contract because that would actually be a situation where I would actually be appalled by the actions of the other. I wouldn't be performing like you are. But then again, they're actors. They're supposed to perform. Alex Williams says it's a rough ride through downtown.
And to make it worse, just found a new crash on the Jam Cam in Midtown, 7585 northbound at 17th Street, exit 251. That's in the HOV lane. Heavy delays start all the way back before University Avenue. Southbound ride is rough from the 85-400 merge. 75 South stacks in around Howell Mill, Northside Drive. That's going to stay slow until you get down to I-20. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heat and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age, system, make, or model. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
So here's a thought. What if selling your house meant you didn't just get paid once, but twice? Sounds nice, right? That's exactly what Orchard does. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler, and I'm telling you, this is different. Orchard gives you cash up front from your current home, so you can go ahead and buy your next one now. No stress, no where are we going to live in the meantime drama. And while you're moving in, getting cozy, arguing over where the couch goes, Orchard is busy getting your old place ready to sell. They handle the cleanup, the fix-ups, the showings, even upgrades that can raise the price. And here's the kicker. When it sells for more, which happens a lot, you get that extra money too. So yeah, first payday comes when you buy, second one comes when your old place sells. Not bad, right? Want to check it out? Just head to orchard.com. That's orchard.com and get a free home valuation. No pressure, just a smarter, easier way to move. That's Orchard.
Wall cracks, window stuck, could be a foundation problem. Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack, and our estimators are thoroughly trained to get you the proper evaluation for your home. Schedule your free assessment with the foundation repair experts at atlantaramjack.com.
Hey, here's a shout out to my hard-working people on the outdoor job sites, construction, landscaping, and of course road work. Hey, it's Smiley Mark McKay for John Foy & Associates, the Strong Arm. If your hard job has been hard on you and you get injured, call in the Strong Arm. John Foy has a team of experienced attorneys with a winning track record who specialize only in fighting for injured workers. Get your free case evaluation with zero upfront costs. JohnFoy.com.
How easy is it to save energy and money in seconds? Power down unused devices, swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs, and adjust your thermostat for the season. Get more tips at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
That's you, looking at your garage door. And you're wondering, if it gets windy, just how much can this door take? 20 miles an hour? 30 miles an hour? Sure, if we get a little wind, your buddy says if you back the car up against it just right, you can probably save it. But what's your clever plan the next time we get a storm with a name? At Mo Better Garage, we make that way mo better. Storm-rated doors are built to withstand heavy winds, even if your building codes aren't there yet. It's like the door to the safe that protects your whole house. Stronger materials, heavy-duty motors and springs to handle the weight, and reinforced struts to keep it from bowing out in the wind. How do I know it won't bow? Because I'm Mo. Call Mo Better Garage and we'll make sure you're prepared the next time a storm with a name comes sailing across the Gulf of Mo.
Mo Better Garage, we make it way more better.
MoBetterGarage.com.
Monica Pearson for Superior Plumbing. Do you have a plumbing issue but have a busy weekday schedule? Superior Plumbing can schedule an appointment that fits your schedule. They show up on time and get the job done right the first time. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 4:30. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this half hour is brought to you by Hoffman Financial Group. WSB's top local story: the Georgia Supreme Court finds the state election board greatly overstepped when it passed several new rules last fall.
In a unanimous ruling, the state's high court invalidated the rules that would have required the hand counting of ballots and that election workers certify only after a reasonable inquiry. In the ruling, the justices make it clear that the election board can only enforce current state law. The measures passed before last year's presidential election were already held up by a lower court ruling. Supporters say the rules were about ensuring accuracy, while opponents argued it could have caused chaos during the election. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
A walkout at the CDC one day after Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. removes all 17 sitting members of the CDC's Vaccine Advisory Committee. This former employee said his hand-picked panel could complicate health care.
RFK Jr. has preconceived ideas of what things should be, and he's going to bring people in who support his thoughts. And that's not how science should work. Science should follow the evidence.
WSB's Steve Summers is on site and will keep us updated this afternoon. A federal grand jury in Atlanta indicts a convicted felon for allegedly operating an enormous fentanyl pill-pressing lab while owning a big stash of guns. The U.S. Attorney's Office says 47-year-old Bartholomew Keaton Harrelson had more than 56 kilograms of fentanyl, 84 kilos of methamphetamine, nearly 10 kilos of heroin, and approximately 4 kilos of cocaine, all of it in powder and hundreds of thousands of pressed pills. FBI Atlanta says this is Georgia's largest ever fentanyl bust. Avondale Estates residents can finally cool off in these humid temperatures as Georgia Power crews replace downed poles and get electricity back on for hundreds of folks and City Hall. Downed trees in soggy weather had taken out power and crushed a couple of cars. Victims of the January 6th riot on the Capitol are calling out the Trump administration's response to the immigration protests in L.A. versus its handling of the January 6th pardons.
The visible presence of the deployment of the National Guard in Los Angeles is raising criticisms from survivors and victims of the U.S. Capitol siege in 2021. Critics say the National Guard was delayed that day. The president was slow to order them, which contributed to the 100-plus police injuries and millions of dollars of damage at the Capitol.
That's correspondent Scott McFarlane reporting. California Governor Gavin Newsom asks a federal court to block the Trump administration from using the National Guard and Marines to assist with immigration raids in Los Angeles. This emergency request says the practice would only heighten tensions. Meanwhile, San Diego Congressman Darrell Issa is calling for an investigation into the LAPD response to Friday's protests.
Congressman says people threw rocks, concrete, bottles, Molotov cocktails, and fireworks at ICE officials, with Homeland Security saying it took LAPD 2 hours to respond.
The Marine Corps Commandant says the battalion Trump deployed to L.A. has not been ordered to quell protests, but to protect federal officials and property. Gwinnett County Library System has some big news that they're reporting today. A prestigious grant has now been awarded.
These are small mom-and-pop grocery stores.
Excuse me, that was Lisa talking about some robberies. Let's get Lisa Nicholas talking about this big grant.
11 libraries across the country will share a $5 million grant, and Gwinnett County will spend its share on the expansion of its English language classes. The library's Duffy Dixon says they are doubly grateful in this current climate of ours.
You know, at a time when funding is being decreased in a lot of areas, to get this kind of a grant means everything to us.
Dixon says the money will be used to help find volunteers and fund background checks, as well as offer bus passes to get to classes for those with limited transportation. Lisa Nicholas, 95.5 WSB.
Aaron Rodgers says he is married. The new Steelers quarterback tells reporters in Pittsburgh he became a married man a couple of months ago. Now, Aaron Rodgers has not revealed, though, any other specifics about his partner or the nuptials. It's 4:34. Live team coverage of traffic and weather coming your way. Alex Williams is updating your afternoon drive.
Taking a look at the ride to the northern suburbs, 85 northbound, where we've throughout the afternoon been dealing with lots of rain. You're just on and off the brakes right now, thankfully, on the wet pavement. 85 northbound from Chamblee-Tucker Road up toward Indian Trail and the Norcross area. Second slow zone finds you from Sugarloaf Parkway as you head up to the 985 split in Swanee. 400 northbound. That's a tough ride from 285 in Sandy Springs up to Northridge Road, exit 6. Southbound got a crash mostly on the left shoulder in Alpharetta Roswell. 400 southbound Mansell Road, exit number 8. 75 northbound. It's sluggish in Marietta from the Delk Road area, exit 261 up to Chastain Road, exit 269 or 271. 575 northbound tapping the brakes approaching Highway 92 in Woodstock. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
This is WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards. Partly cloudy with a few pop-up showers through the afternoon, high 84. Drying out for tonight, lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow, a mix of sun and clouds, pleasant, high 87. Thursday, an isolated pop-up shower can't be ruled out, but mainly dry, high 88.
It's 71 degrees in Smyrna, 73 in Fayetteville, and 73 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 4:35. More news at 5 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Breda Pest Management is the best at beating bugs, keeping critters out, and tormenting termites. Did you know the Breda family's been protecting local homes inside and out for over 50 years? Hey, it's Dave Baker. I don't lose sleep worrying about bugs and critters because Breda has perfected protecting my home. Here's to another 50 years of bug beating, termite tossing, and critter kicking.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
Finding trustworthy people to properly fix your septic system can seem hopeless. Hi, I'm Shannon, owner of Scorpion Septic. Don't give up hope. Just read some of our 5-star reviews. Your neighbors know my trustworthy team will solve your septic problems on the spot.
Take the sting out of septic service with Scorpion Septic. Never a pump out charge with your repair. Get a free quote at scorpionsepticservices.com.
ScorpionSepticServices.com.
Steelhorse Law specializes in motorcycle accidents involving trucks. SteelhorseLaw.com.
Attention men, are you suffering from ED or PE? Here's an important message from Choice Men's Health.
I'm Dr. Katz and I'm the Chief Medical Director at Choice Men's Health. Are you performing the way you want to in the bedroom? If the answer is no and you've tried Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra and were disappointed, then you need to come see us immediately. If you don't see results on the first visit, then there's no charge. Many of our patients have medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and prostate problems. I'm happy to say that we have 98% success rate with all our patients. Our customized solutions will allow you to perform within 10 minutes and last an hour and even longer. You can regain your love life and tackle your ED and PE problems. Guys, your partner will never complain again. Our clinic has the most affordable prices, so if you visit other clinics and you're not completely satisfied, then you need to call Choice Men's Health.
Regain your love life regardless of your age or medical history. Choice Men's Health guarantees results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call now, 404-400-1170. That's 404-400-1170.
Well, look at this handsome fella. I believe he's in his 70s. Doesn't look a day over 38. Mute your thing or mute your children.
I'm so sorry.
You can mute the children or the mic. It's up to you.
Mute the children.
This devilishly good-looking fella is Wes Moss, who is here. He's the host of Money Matters on the weekends. And he can help you retire happily if you want to visit him at his offices or go to yourwealth.com.
Look at you.
Look at me, huh?
It's a promo.
Tossing it all out there. Wes Moss is here to talk about the economy and such.
And such.
And you just walked in with a big news that Google is, now starting some sort of voluntary
buyout program.
I call it the voluntary get the hell out of here program.
That's about right.
That's what it is. So I think I know what this is all about, but tell me a little bit, and I'll tell you what it means.
So again, it's one of these big headline numbers. When a company does this, and they laid off, it was laid off voluntarily, showed I think something like 12,000 people to the door back in 2023. So I mean, there's been a reduction in headcount, and this is again what happens with every company all the time. It's these are the world's most successful brands. These are $1 trillion companies. So it happens across the board, and it's always happening. And that's just a measure of keeping the business healthy. And cost, the primary cost for most companies is labor. So
Sure.
you have people making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 a year, and they ask them to politely say, well, it's time to go. And then they usually, in this day and age, they throw in, there's always a return to work part of it too.
Oh, now
it's, if you live with, I think one of the things I read is that if you live within 50 miles of a location, you've got to be in person.
Yeah, like so the remote stuff is coming to an end.
It's just companies are doing this in
I don't even know why this
various
is
ways.
controversial. I have to be honest with you. I don't even understand why this is controversial.
So many people during the pandemic moved way far
Well,
out.
that was an idiotic thing to do. Did they think the
Well,
pandemic
but
was
they
gonna...
only said if you're within 50. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah.
move to another state, maybe
fine.
it's not enforced.
Wait, people convinced, this pandemic, this is going to be the rest of my life.
I know friends that moved like up into the North Georgia mountains that had jobs in Atlanta, and they would have to commute an
Did
hour
they
and a
think it
half.
was going to go forever?
I
They
guess
thought the
so.
pandemic was never going to end?
Many of them have since either moved back to Atlanta or to other jobs, but others have just complained and found other jobs up that
Well,
way.
given the generation you're from, it doesn't surprise me.
True, that's right. We get things done.
But really, what it is, this is the rapid manifestation of you can call it creative destruction, but this is the move, and it's a seismic shift from search to AI. And
That's
now-
what it is.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And that's only going to accelerate. And think about how much time, energy, money companies have put into search engine optimization. How do I show up high on the list with Google? How do I show up and have some of that small real estate that's on our computer screens? And that is now being taken over by all the big three.
You want to show up in ChatGPT.
You want to show up in Grok. You want to show up in Perplexity. You want to.
But it's not as easy there. It's not as easy there because there are links. At least I only deal with ChatGPT right now, but in
very small
ChatGPT,
on the bottom.
links are just there to say this is the source. This is where we got this information from. They're not real friendly as far as clickability. You can click them, but I'm saying it's not a natural thing. So that's the interesting thing. Outside of what's going on with Google and what they're doing, we are beginning to live through the evolution where search is going away. And the things that were dependent on search, and we're going straight into an AI thing, which, by the way, is costing these companies 10 times to 20 times more, but it's an investment they feel like they have to make now to be there, because every time you use it, you teach it. So it costs them, I think, $19 for every AI query. This is Google, as opposed to every search query is $1. It costs them $19, $18 more. But every time you use it, you teach their AI to be better, and it's an investment that they want. And I had another story here. News sites are getting crushed by Google's new AI tools. Same thing.
Thing.
Well, it's exactly what you just talked about. In terms of news, it used to be people go, hey, what's going on in Los Angeles, and a search, and then you get like a link to Axios or MSNBC. These sites are dying now, losing 25, 30, 40% of their traffic in the last 6 months because people are just talking to ChatGPT.
Right, so you don't need to even go to the site. You get a multi-sourced response right there. And you never have to leave your chat with AI. It's a totally different experience. And I would think most people now that are listening have started to use it. I don't know what the number is. My kids asked their mom, my wife, the other day, hey, do you have GPT? And she said, no, I still don't have it. So there's still people. The busy moms, I don't know. There's plenty of people that haven't
probably
used
are
it.
using it but don't realize it, because a lot of times when you just search in Google, it will give you a
that
Gemini
first
response.
response.
That first response is a Gemini response.
But now, with Chrome anyway, you can make the decision that that's all you do. Like anything you put into the URL as a question just gets answered by ChatGPT. And I'm a little bit I'm in the middle. I'm on a hybrid right now. There are some times a lot of times where that I like that a lot. But then sometimes I want the old-fashioned links. So I got myself to where if I want the old-fashioned links, first type G into the URL, then hit, and it'll go to the old-fashioned Google search, and then you can ask your question. So I'm kind of doing things in between, but I'm leaning heavily toward the ChatGPT thing.
Well, I really like Google's AI choice in the upper left-hand corner,
Yeah.
right? So there's regular search, and then there's their AI.
Oh, I don't like Google's because I feel like it's skewed and curated
A little bit.
differently.
You mean like unlike Grok or something like that?
No, I use ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
I use
I think is the
ChatGPT
best.
better. It's the only one I use, so
Yeah.
it's the only one I know.
ChatGPT is my friend, but I also don't use ChatGPT as a search engine. I use it as like a friend I talk to.
Famous first last words. ChatGPT is my
Marlo.
friend.
One of my best.
It's emotional support.
name's Marlo.
It's emotional support AI.
My cat's name is Marlo.
But it is
When they become
Maybe it's your cat.
sentient, and
Yeah.
and and they're rounding us all up, they'll remember that Autumn was nice to her.
That's
Yeah.
right. Me and
Or
Marlo,
it.
besties.
I still find the Google product more factual. So I use
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, I get
Yeah.
thrown financial questions left and right, and they're
Which theirs is Gemini. So you're
Maybe
finding Gemini.
maybe that's the case, Wes, when you're looking up something financial. But I know that Tim, you've tried to use it just through.
Well, yeah, ask it something political, and it'll.
Right.
Well,
I'm
that's just
sorry.
lawyers.
I don't do that.
That's just lawyers.
I'm
That's just-
sorry.
That's just lawyers. They just don't want to get caught up. They don't want to be on Fox News' next thing or MSNBC's next thing. And
Will you
it
believe what
said
Gemini
this.
said?
Oh my
Yes.
God! It said that
Gemini said drain the swamp.
So and so awful person in history was actually a great person in history, and then they got to deal with that for 3 days. So this is where we're going, and there's no stopping it.
No
and
stopping it.
Fingers crossed, Wes Moss, that it opens up some kind of wonderful future vista, a whole new world where money will fall from the sky, and we'll have plenty of jobs to go around. I don't necessarily see that, but sometimes I don't see the airport from 30,000 feet. Right?
Look, I think that nobody knows the answer to this. I've written about it. It's really just speculation of what are we going to create more jobs and more industries than we destroy. And what it's interesting to notice if you look at unemployment for youth right now, almost recent college grads have usually had a lower unemployment rate than the general population. For the first time, we're seeing that higher. So it means that in a very long time. So it means that it's hard right now to get a job out of school. We were talking about this today at my office, and I think the obvious answer is, well, are we starting to see the real life impact of AI, which is helping with these more entry level type jobs? It's very possible that we're already seeing it in the data.
Well, if college educated, so you're saying just coming out of college, that unemployment is up.
Recent college grads.
Okay, recent college grads, if their unemployment is up, what I would say is hit the gym, get your body ready for that OnlyFans page that you need to be. If you want to make money in America, I think it's OnlyFans.
There's a competitor. There's Passes now too. You can go
Passes?
on Passes, yeah.
Passes? How's that
Passes, yes.
spelled?
I think it's Passes. I think it's Passes. Yeah.
It's not a competitor. There's no nudity. Their competitor is called Fansly.
Oh, okay. So it's not. Yeah, no. The Passes just sounds like
People dress
a dating.
pretty. They dress risque on Passes.
Passes makes me think of
risque.
people who are trans and who are passing. It's like everyone on there's passing.
We reported last week.
I'm sitting here looking at an unemployment chart. What do you? I'm
No,
sorry.
wait. We're trying to figure
I'm
out.
looking at all workers' unemployment rate versus recent college
How
grads.
many of those are passing?
Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in DeKalb.
Yep, just found this one on the Jam Cam, Eric. 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Flat Shoals Road, exit 48. Right lane is blocked there. That's slowing the ride back toward I-675. If you get past there and you're trying to get on to 20 eastbound, looks like we might have some new trouble on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp there before Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. And coming out of downtown on I-20 eastbound, they're holding multiple left lanes, I think, to try to get trouble off to the right, 20 eastbound, just past Boulevard, exit 59. So that's adding to delays on I-20 eastbound back into West Atlanta from Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. And police just blocked and reopened all lanes down in Clayton County, Forest Park, I-75 southbound past Forest Parkway, exit 237. Stall pushed off to the right shoulder there. Those brake lights stretch, though, on I-75 southbound back up before Central Avenue as you make your way through Hapeville. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
The morning rush hour, the evening rush hour, and everything in between.
Slow spots are starting to build up the east side perimeter on 285 North.
Tune in 24/7 with the Triple Team Traffic
We've
Center.
had several breakdowns, including one in the express lane.
Your source for Atlanta's traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate's the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate the hassle this summer. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home and skip the hassle of constant cleaning and costly repairs. There's no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today. That's markspain.com and start packing.
A DUI conviction might cost you your license. Get the DUI lawyer, GeorgeStein.com.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Only inches separate you from the heavy rain trying to infiltrate your home. Dave Baker for Findlay Roofing, the roof guys. If your old roof is leaking, think of Findlay first. They're the extra effort experts, making sure you have a remarkable roof replacement experience. Water inside? Worried about recent heavy rains causing damage? You'll always win with Findlay. Schedule a free roof analysis. No obligation, no charge. FindlayRoofing.com. Roof, roof.
How easy is it to save energy and money in 30 seconds? Let's count the ways. Power down unused devices. Swap out traditional bulbs for LEDs. Adjust your thermostat for the season. Change your air filter. Move furniture away from your vents. And turn off the lights when you leave a room. Georgia Power's more than just your power company. We're your saving sidekick. Get started at georgiapower.com/energy efficiency today. Ready, set, save.
Trust is not just a word, it's an experience. When your home needs service, you can trust TE certified electrical, plumbing, heating, and cooling. Hey, it's Chris Chandler. TE is the company I trust to fix any problem once and for all. Their 5-star customer experience means easy online scheduling, friendly technicians, and a lifetime workmanship warranty, so I can just sit back and relax.
TE certified, we love your home.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
It's not doing her any good.
I think we're on the air.
Jared, I can't say it.
You can say it.
Jared has a friend who read 115
of those romantasy
books in how long? How much?
In a year.
And still didn't learn a damn thing.
But
she might as well have been reading family circus panels for a year.
Just
for all that she
devouring these books.
Yeah, it was like
one every 2 days.
It was a bragging point. So like at one point we were all having a conversation.
But it took no intellectual effort whatsoever to do it.
And she was like, I read 115 of those. And I'm like, oh, well, good for you.
I read 70 Dick and Jane books. Am I supposed to applaud you? What?
At least those have a story.
Oh, you read a book a 4-year-old can read? Okay.
Well, in defense,
7.
In her defense, what's more intellectually stimulating, reading one of these books or sitting down and watching Netflix?
How about
depends on the Netflix.
Before you guys judge,
pick
very judgy around here.
Pick up an Animal Farm every once in a while. I don't know. Read something that actually has passed the test. All 115 of those books in 20 years, no one will remember them because they'll have moved on to something else.
Well, if they made a Hallmark movie, they will.
Has there been a classic yet? Has there been a classic romantasy book yet?
Have you seen the one? Have you read the one where she has to mate with him, and she has to have his pup before he is to break the curse.
Yeah, I did read that one. Yeah, isn't that all of them?
Romantasy when you're mixing in.
Well, I wouldn't you say? I mean, Autumn, you correct me if I'm wrong on this one.
Dragon.
Twilight. would be
Dragon
kind of,
sex.
Twilight would have been probably one of the first romantasy. I mean, you had
No, that
basically
was for children.
No, Twilight was for young girls.
Okay, it was what do you call that?
Young girls.
Vampires.
What do you call that? What's it called?
Teen lit.
Teen or YA, young adult.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I guess
YA tittle.
Yeah, something like
Don't
that.
ever say that again.
He was a quarterback, I believe, for the Baltimore Colts, maybe before Johnny Unitas.
I thought the Giants, but
Was it the Giants? Maybe it was the Giants. Y.A. Tittle. Come on. You don't know the man? I guess most people outside of New York don't either. Wes, so we're not at all talking about the economy.
It's okay. I've been diving into my research over the last month, which I did a big national survey on the habits of happy versus unhappy retirees. It's been almost 15 years since I did that originally.
Yes.
So the world's changed. We've had all this inflation, and I wanted to see what has changed. And so I asked a whole bunch of new questions, and I've been going through it. It took 2 months to do, and then it's taken me a month so far to get into the data to try to find the relationships of what are the checkpoints of financial checkpoints, what are the lifestyle habits. So I've been doing that, and a lot
about bringing in Palantir to go through your research for you, because they're really good with data sets, from what I understand.
Speaking of it, I would say it's too complicated to use AI for. It really is. There's when the data sets are giant, and maybe it's just because I can't code it right.
Right.
It is better just to go through as a human and read it and just understand it that way.
Read it.
The other thing that I think AI can do to the negative is it can take away from what you're really trying to get to, because it's so great at summarizing.
Yeah.
It's almost as though, you can Cliff Notes your way through high school and college, but are you really, what's the level of learning you're getting?
It's a very shallow experience. You end up
Still think it's going to be good for the economy.
Missing the forest for the trees. It may be good for the economy and not very good for humanity. That's a possibility.
That's a good point.
Alex Williams says there's a red alert on 575 in Kent.
That is right, Eric, and we are watching this rollover crash, 575 northbound, Highway 140, exit 16. All lanes have been shut down. Yep, they just blocked them all again, trying to figure out how they're going to clean this mess up. Traffic can exit at Highway 140 and then hop back on the interstate past the crash, but it is cooked the ride back before 6's Road. Best bet is to use Highway 5 as an alternate. Elsewhere on I-285 eastbound, the outer loop in DeKalb County still got that crash in the right lane at Flat Shoals, exit 48. Once you get past that, trying to get onto I-20 eastbound, we got a crash in the right lane of the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp right there at Wesley Chapel Road, exit 68. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
You know the best part about hot weather is walking into a cool, comfortable house, right? Dave Baker here for Coolray Heating and Cooling. Summer is here. Don't let HVAC problems ruin your fun. Coolray is offering up to $2,250 in rebates and free installation with the purchase of a complete home carrier system. Ready to stay cool this summer? Visit Coolray.com to book your appointment today and keep your home cool and comfortable all summer long. Cool Rain Carrier. Turn to the experts.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Last year, more clients hired Morgan & Morgan than ever before, protecting America, fighting for you. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Oh, popsicle drips, muddy shoes, and summertime messes, don't let them take over your home. Call Zerorez Carpet and Air Duct Cleaning. Zerorez uses their ZR water technology, no dirt-attracting soaps, no harsh chemicals, just a truly clean, healthy home. Right now, take advantage of their summer sale. Get 15% off all services, that is carpets, air ducts, rugs, tile, and more, all 15% off. Just mention Chris Chandler or book now at ZeroResAtlanta.com, and yeah, they do commercial cleaning too. Zerorez, all they leave is clean.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 62225, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Bats are beneficial outside. Bats inside are bad. Scott Slade here for Breda Pest Management. Bats eat their weight of bugs daily. Then they need a place to sleep, like your attic. Seen droppings around your house, high-pitched squeaking in the attic? That's bats, and that's bad. Breda will safely get them out and seal all entry points. Breda Pest Management. They handle bugs and critters, like bats.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
WSB Atlanta, WSB BFM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk. News, weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 5 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters, WSB's top local story. It's the largest fentanyl bust in Georgia's history. Federal prosecutors are now announcing charges.
Federal agents seized enough fentanyl to kill 48 million people from properties tied to 47-year-old Bartholomew Harrelson. The operation agents uncovered was capable of producing 25,000 pills an hour. FBI Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown.
We target the criminals while keeping the millions of victims and potential victims on our minds.
A grand jury has indicted Harrelson on multiple federal charges, and U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg says
this investigation is not over.
If convicted, Harrelson faces at least 40 years in prison with the possibility of life. At FBI Atlanta, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
It is 73 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards expects the pop-up showers and thunderstorms that we've been seeing today are going to dry out tonight, and we'll see lows in the mid-60s tomorrow. Sunshine comes our way, and it's going to be quite a bit warmer. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast is coming up, so make sure you stay with us. All new this hour. Supporters honk their horns as they drive past the latest protest outside the CDC in Atlanta. WSB's Steve Summers joins us live now outside the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention with what they call the latest outrage from the Trump administration. Steve. All right, we will get back with Steve, but what I do know about this protest today is that more than 100 demonstrators along Clifton Road had protested at the front gate. Current employees, fired employees, parents of employees, CDC retirees, they've been railing against the latest terminations, all 17 members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices. Those firings came by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. this week, who says he will appoint an all-new panel. He has served time for civil rights violations when he was Clayton County Sheriff. Now, Victor Hill wants to serve on Capitol Hill. A Facebook post says Hill will announce online at 7:30 tonight that he is launching a campaign to run for Congress. There's the 404, the 678, and more. Now get ready for a new Georgia area code.
We're getting an 11th area code in the state. The 912 area code down in the southeast part of the state is getting a few too many numbers, and mathematically they're just running out of possibilities. And they have alerted us that we're going to have a 565 area code.
And Public Service Commission spokesman Tom Krause tells me the Savannah, Pooler, Brunswick area is likely going to see 565 popping up on new phone lines in mid-2028. Fulton County jurors are hearing evidence in the murder trial of a man accused of kidnapping his kids and starving his 4-year-old daughter to death. Prosecutors say Rodney McWay's daughter Treasure died 2 weeks after defects had taken her and her 2 brothers out of his squalid apartment in southwest Atlanta. McWay traveled to Maryland to get the kids and brought them back, and then he withheld food and water from Treasure. Police said she was just 24 pounds when she died. A Snellville man is facing felony charges after authorities in Cobb County say he left his 2 kids in a hot car.
Cobb police say the car was parked outside the Cumberland Mall for more than 40 minutes in 80 degrees
90-degree weather. After receiving a tip from a witness, officers broke into the vehicle. The 1- and 2-year-old kids were taken to a hospital for evaluation. According to a warrant, the temperature inside the car where each child was sitting was recorded at 104 and 106 degrees. Their father, Jaquan Dixon, is charged with 2 counts of second-degree cruelty to children. Dixon is out on $10,000 bond. Amanda Moyer, 95.5 WSB.
Southern Baptists vote on same-sex marriage and other issues during their annual convention this week in Dallas, Texas. Other items on their ballots include measures calling for pornography and sports betting to be outlawed. They're also deciding on efforts to defund Planned Parenthood and to oppose abortion. Happy news for my news colleague Michelle Wright, and a heads up for other Peach fans. Chick-fil-A's Peach Milkshake is officially back for the 16th summer in a row. There's also a Frosted Peach Lemonade making its debut. And just for Georgia, a couple of exclusive items. The Fried Peach Pie and the Peach Fruit Waffle are available only at Chick-fil-A's Truett Group restaurants. The summer treats are on the menu now through August 16th. It's now 5:04, and the Von Hessler Doctrine continues in less than 2 minutes. But first, let's start off that WSB triple team traffic on this thick part of the rush hour. Alex Williams, give us an update.
Yeah, very busy out there right now, Veronica, and slow up through downtown. We still got this crash lingering in the HOV lane in Midtown. 7585 northbound at 17th Street, exit 251, but the jam starts all the way back at Highway 166, Langford Parkway, trying to make your way up through downtown in Midtown. Southbound budget about a half hour from the 85-400 merge to get down to I-20. Heads up in Canton, 575 northbound. They about got this rollover crash cleaned up at Highway 140 exit 16, but you're still zigzagging from the left lane to the right lane, so that's calls for a rough ride back through Holly Springs. Use Highway 5 as an alternate to avoid that jam. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
And now, Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. It's brought to you by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms will come to an end this evening, becoming partly cloudy with some areas of patchy fog for tomorrow morning, lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, high 87. Partly cloudy, hot and humid Thursday, high 88. A few pop-up showers and storms on Friday, high 86. Widespread rain showers and thunderstorms return on Saturday, high 83.
Right now it's 66 degrees in Flowery Branch, 77 in Lovejoy, and 74 in Midtown Atlanta at 5:06. More news at 5:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 3 of the Von Hessler Doctrine begins right now.
Boy, oh boy, these are good-looking guys.
Absolutely, especially Wes Moss.
What about me?
And you. Well, you're not a guy.
Oh, man.
Are you? Unless you have something to declare.
I love you too.
Oh, thank you.
We're all loved is the important thing. We're here in the break trying to figure out if we're introverts or extroverts because Wes Moss, in his happy retiree study, survey, whatever. Research. Well, not a poll.
Not a poll.
Survey.
It's either a survey or a study of some kind.
Study.
It's
so much. It's a lot. There's a lot of. There's so much statistics that go into this because you want things to have a certain confidence level and a margin of error.
Yeah, because you're writing a book.
Correct.
Or updating the old book.
No, I'm writing a new book.
A brand new book.
I'm writing a brand new book.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
Brand new.
Or book.
Now the theme may be similar because I think I get a ton of. Here's one thing that came back I didn't expect. The very act, and this makes me happy, and this wasn't even a question. It was just you can if you're going to the demographics and you can say, I want to look at all happy people and I want to look at them whether retired or not happy. What are the happiness levels? So it's not even necessarily a question, but just that it shows up in the research. There's a really big jump from in overall propensity to land in the happy camp, which is in the way I looked at it is the top 2 quintiles. So it's the top 40%. And then there's the neutral group and then the 2 unhappy camps. But if you to be in the top group, one of the top 2 groups, you end up there's almost a 25% jump in overall happiness just being in retirement.
Oh, so people hate their bosses.
So just leaving, just getting to the point where you say, okay, I'm retired, 25% boost in happiness. And I don't know, maybe I didn't expect that per se. I think that it also maybe a little bit validating because I've been advocating for people to retire a little bit sooner. I really believe that a little bit sooner is a lot better. A lot sooner is a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And just understanding the
Do we have to have
workforce.
money before we do it, or can we just decide?
Well, it depends. There is a recipe to
Yeah, I'm
get
gonna
to
retire now.
to get to 96% happiness level. There are
Okay.
5 things. I'm not going to share them now.
No. Of course
not
not. You
now.
got a book. You got a book. You got a book to sell. Got to be in the book.
I'll leak them out over time, but there's a serious formula to it.
Now, does your book include, for Tim, Autumn, and myself? Apparently, we won't be able to get Social Security till 60. You're in the clear. Apparently, we're not going to be able to get Social Security till we're at least 69 years old. So, does your book include
Ooh,
that?
the sexiest stage.
You know what it does? It includes, there is a checkpoint with income.
Okay.
And there's a checkpoint with overall savings. And they're harder numbers to get to than they used to be. Well, I'd say they're similar numbers they used to be. It's no harder today. It still just takes a ton of time. The nominal number's bigger, but we've also had tons of inflation. So the numbers have grown pretty considerably since I did this 15 years ago.
But what you found is that extroverts are happier in retirement than introverts.
Which I don't even think that makes it in the book, because people can't. There's nothing you can do.
It's correlation, not causation, I think. My knee-jerk reaction, I shouldn't say I think, my knee-jerk reaction is that that extroverts are just going to be happier. Like if you went to the lower socioeconomic scales, right, and you would still find amongst the people at that strata that the extroverts amongst them are probably happier than the introverts, because introverts get there, and I looked it up because it's like, do I really know? Extroverts gain energy by engaging with others. Introverts gain energy by self-reflection and things like that. And I think that I'm an introvert, and I think that probably leads to neurosis because you're sitting around thinking all the time.
Now you're going down a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
No, but I mean, that's true, right? You're sitting there, if you're thinking and you're reflecting, and then you're constantly kind of, whereas if you're an extrovert and you're just out and you're socializing and you're doing stuff, you're probably going to be happier.
I don't think being an extrovert just automatically makes you a happier person.
Well, no, I don't think so either. We're just talking percentages
I think being
here.
an introvert doesn't necessarily make you someone who is neurotic.
No, I'm not saying
doesn't hurt.
I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. What I'm saying is we're playing the percentages here. And I just think overall,
If you're an introvert, you're 100% this, and if you're an extrovert, you're 100% this.
If you're an extrovert, you have probably spent more, you just probably have more. You've got more social going on, more friends, a larger social network.
That's going to make you happier.
That's probably going to make you happier
part of it,
rather than sitting and thinking, oh, well, yeah.
Happy retirees report having a enough is what I asked. You feel like as though you have enough close friends. The happy retiree group does. The unhappy group does not, or they have a lower propensity to do that. Doesn't mean that unhappy people don't have enough close friends, because they certainly can.
Sure.
But as far as
they
the
don't like
propensity
engaging
in the
with
two
them.
groups,
You get older, you're retiring, everybody's talking about their latest ailment. Who wants to go engage with that all the time?
So I was at I guess I'll say the course. I was over at the Bobby Jones driving range.
Jones driving range.
Bobby Jones.
Okay, so right around the corner.
Yeah, right around
the great
corner.
Bobby Jones. Autumn, by the way, he was. He's the reason there's the Masters. He created Augusta National, and he was
Masters is golf.
And in the 20s he was an amateur, and he was, I think, considered the greatest golfer, definitely in America. I don't know, maybe the world. And he refused to turn pro, and that was a big thing.
It's quite a legacy.
He didn't think that you should make money off of playing sports, but somehow
I love that.
Well, he ended up with enough money to purchase the land to build Augusta National, so it wasn't
Okay, but he had like ethics or something. That's
something
cool.
like, yeah, ethics or something like that. Yeah.
So I'm there,
Not like
and
Apple.
it's hard. If anybody's ever been there, there's a bunch of bays at the driving range, and it's
Babes?
always so crowded.
Did you say babes or did you say bays?
A bay?
Tons of
And
babes.
a bay is
They're
my,
golfing.
I'm not a golfer. A bay, I would imagine, is a little like a batting cage for golfing. Like it's where you're hitting the thing off.
Right,
Right,
without a cage.
Right.
But yes, you have
Yeah.
your own designated space, so if you don't hit somebody in the head with your golf club.
Yes.
And it's hard when you get there. I was there with my one of my kids, 13-year-old. And
Whichever one.
we're kind of
Right. The 13
milling.
one is
He's
13.
like, Dad, it's so crowded, and so we can't get it back. And we're kind of just I said, Jake, just mill around, just kind of wait till somebody's finished and kind of stare them down a little bit. And so we mill around for a few minutes, and this guy turns around and says, "Hey guys, you can He goes, you can have my bay. He has a one of those knee braces on. It's kind of falling down.
Yeah.
One of those rubber knee brace things on.
So he's had his workout.
He's had his workout. He's sweaty. He's got sunscreen. He's got a hat on. He's got sunglasses. His knee brace is falling down. And so I start talking to him, and Jake's over there trying to get golf balls because they're hard to get there too. The place is crowded. And I go, oh, hey. I said, hello. How I didn't. Good to see you playing golf. He goes, I love. He pulled at my shirt. And he goes, I love this cricket shirt. Jared, do you know cricket shirts?
I don't know cricket shirts.
It's like
Is that
your
the
typical
cell phone company.
No.
Cricket Wireless, renowned for their design.
It's a polo shirt place out of Austin, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like kind of retro collar. You'd like them, I think.
So he laid hands on you. He put his hands on the
Wow,
shirt.
I love those cricket shirts, and I said, well, they've got the best marketing. They've got great marketing because this guy is a marketer for them.
Aha. Well, wait a minute. How did you know that? Or did you know? Oh, is he famous?
So I'm sitting there, and I said, so as we're talking, I'm like, whoa, hello. I was like, do you live here? Or like, do you have a house here? No, I'm just working. And I said, Jake, come over here. Let's see who this is. So he thought I was just talking to some guy. I thought it was one of your work friends or something. And I said, now do you know who this is? And he goes, son, did you go to the Masters? Jake had a little T-shirt on with the Masters. He goes, did you go to the Masters? No, it's just my dad. So who was it?
Jordan Spieth.
No.
Hold on. Whoever won the match. Wait, Rory.
Not a golfer.
Not a golfer.
Not a pro.
Not a pro. Bill Murray.
Close.
That's Brian
good.
Doyle Murray.
That's
Brian
good.
Doyle Murray.
Joel Murray.
Who is it?
Dan Aykroyd.
Very close. Getting closer.
Jim Belushi.
I don't know if he's alive.
All right.
Jim is.
Other cast members from
Chevy
Ghostbusters.
Chase wouldn't have been playing golf.
Chevy Chase.
Right.
No, he's too sick.
And he's mean.
Steve Martin. He's not mean. Steve Martin?
Steve Martin? Was it?
No.
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 Martin Short.
All right, ready?
Yes.
Will Ferrell.
Oh, look at that.
So cool, so nice, so cool. And I tried to play it cool because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a selfie, but I didn't. I
Yeah.
knew he would do it, especially with one of my kids.
Did you pitch him to handle his retirement?
No, I did nothing. I just said awesome and gave him like a fist bump, and I was like,
Well,
have a
that's
gr-
nice
have
that
a
he was
great
nice
day.
So nobody else was gathered around him? Well,
And then so when he left, and he kind of just walked down inconspicuously. Remember, there's probably 100 people there. It's a really huge driving range. And the guy next to me, and it's when I finally got to my bay, I said, "Do you know who that was?" And he was, "No, I had no idea who it was. Some old guy. I don't know."
So I imagine
it was Will Ferrell. It was Will Ferrell.
So
and now his buddy Luke Wilson, I'm sorry, Owen
Wilson, who is
supposedly has been in town playing some golf, but he has a new show called Stick.
It's
a
about
show
golf.
about him being he was a pro golfer, had a meltdown. It's actually a pretty good show. I saw the first episode. It's good.
It's
So
like
maybe-
a Ted
I don't-
Lasso for golf. Same people
Yeah.
made it.
I'd be kind of
Pretty good.
yeah. Owen Wilson would kind of. I would get more of a jump out of Owen than Will. I think.
Anyway, my
love
teenage
golf.
kid was just in shock. So
No, that's
fun.
fantastic.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
cool.
not like meeting Eric Von Hessler, but
No, it's not like
it
that.
is cool.
Owen Wilson wrote Bottle Rocket. So I'd be a little more. You ever see Bottle Rocket?
No.
Then you haven't seen movies. Talk to me when you've seen Bottle Rocket.
Let me look it up on AI. I'll get a summary.
Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in Smyrna.
Yeah, that is correct, Eric. We didn't need this because it's already a rough ride into Smyrna Bindings. This crash is in the second left lane, 285 southbound, the outer loop, Paces Ferry Road, exit 18, and that is adding to a very rough ride already coming 285 west and southbound, the outer loop, starting back at Ashford Dunwoody Road. It's also going to increase the brake lights that are already in place on 75 south, out of Marietta, trying to make your way past Truist Park, grabbing onto 285 south. Elsewhere in DeKalb, some better news. We had a right lane crash, 285 eastbound, the outer loop, Flat Shoals, exit 48. That has since cleared. Lingering delays from I-675. And the right lane is back open in DeKalb on the I-20 eastbound collector distributor ramp between 285 and Wesley Chapel Road as you make that trek out toward Lithonia. Traffic brought to you by Active Pest Control. Enjoy a pest-free home with Active Pest Control's pest-free 365 service. To save $50 off your initial pest service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Eric Erickson.
Informative and topical when you want
Now, I
it.
know senators, they refer to the House as their enemy.
And a break when you need
And
it.
we need to put our big boy pants on.
Eric Erickson.
Elon Musk is a veritable Miley Cyrus.
Tomorrow at noon.
It happens at the state level. My gosh, it happens at the state level.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
As we dive into summer, it's good to know that Georgia Power has a variety of resources to help you save money and find assistance for your energy bills. This is Scott Slade. The Georgia Power My Power Usage Alerts can send you email updates on how much energy you're using. Just go to georgiapower.com/usage and log into your account. For income qualified customers, there are discounts available when you meet certain criteria. There's even a community assistance and resource locator that can help. Find out more at georgiapower.com/assistance.
I'm here with Chris Hoffman, the founder of Hoffman Financial Group and host of Money Unleashed. Chris, every week on the show, we offer folks something we call the Portfolio X-Ray. I was hoping you could walk us through that process and tell us why the information it uncovers is so powerful.
Yeah, so the reason we love doing the Portfolio X-Ray for you is we do that behind the scenes. Everybody's extremely busy. Nobody wants to waste time in traffic. If you call in, we will ask you for some information via the phone. Once you've given us that information, we go to work and we put all the hours in developing the report. And I commit this to you. The Portfolio X-Ray is eye-opening. At least 90+% of the time, we can find 2 or 3 golden nuggets in there that you were not aware of that we can either change in your current portfolio mix for you. It's called a 401k optimizer. Or if we manage the assets for you, we certainly can recommend how to diversify away from some of the troubling points that are exposed during the Portfolio X-ray. Once we've got that, then we'll have you in for your initial consultation. We will present the Portfolio X-ray to you and walk you through the high points of it. And that's a document that you get to take with you. It's like getting a financial physical. So how many of you avoided going to the doctor for the annual physical last year? You do the same thing with your financial life. You ignore it. You keep pumping money into your 401k. You hope that it's going well. And I can tell you that hope is not a good investment or financial planning strategy. You need to know. So if you want to know, call us.
The Portfolio X-Ray is complimentary. Give Hoffman Financial Group a call to schedule yours today. 404-737-3858, 404-737-3858, or online at unleashyourmoney.com. Investment advisory services offered through Brookstone Wealth Advisors, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Hoffman Financial Group Incorporated, Georgia Insurance License number 163546.
Windows are supposed to frame the outside. Instead, you see wood rot, fog, moisture between the panes. Maybe they're drafty or leaky. Upgrade now to beautiful Infinity from Marvin fiberglass windows to improve energy efficiency, comfort, and curb appeal. It's Jonathan and Ted from North Georgia Replacement Windows. Experience the Infinity fiberglass difference at your home or in our new Alpharetta showroom. 0% interest available.
Infinity from Marvin, replacement windows, yeah!
At Kroger, we've lowered prices on over 1,000 items across our stores so you can save even more. Whether you're shopping in-store or online at Kroger, we've lowered prices on thousands of the items your family wants and needs. And with lower prices, your dollar goes further every time you shop with us. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Check out this amazing deal on Kellogg's cereal. Select varieties or buy 2 get 3 free with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's what welcomes people to your home, and first impressions are everything. Your front door. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. We're the experts for every opening in your home. Not only your garage door, but your windows and your front door too. Replace your dated single front door with a gorgeous double door. No matter the size of your entrance, we can customize and install the double doors of your dreams. Make your front door grand. Get started at all4seasonsgarages.com.
Don't follow anyone or any movement because they all will let you down. Apropos to nothing, Wes Moss. I saw this article on CBS News. I found it interesting for what was not in it. First-time home buyers are an endangered species in the U.S. and really goes through just some really just terrible numbers and how difficult it is for young people to to buy homes these days. And they go through all the different, the usual suspects. You know who's not in here at all? Not mentioned once is BlackRock or Blackstone or any of these.
Oh, that was another article you sent me. It was about BlackRock.
No, I don't know. That was probably him. I didn't send it to you. But
private equity getting into the public retail market.
That's a different thing. That's gonna, that's the 2008 thing waiting to happen.
Look, you're right. There's a huge amount of ownership in that, but and it doesn't necessarily change the amount that they bought. It's kind of like inflation. It happened and it's not going away, but meaning that private equity funds were coming into Atlanta and
oh, you're talking
Houston,
about that. You're talking about
and they came in. No, I'm talking about home buyers.
Right.
That home buyer story. And they bought up what they could buy, and that activity, as far as I can tell, has stopped because I know multiple real estate agents that were very heavy into that for a long period of time, and then it just ended all within a month or two. As soon as rates started going back up, so now they still own those properties. To your point, they haven't really put them back on the market, but
so now you think it's more about inflation and purchasability.
But that impact from a couple of years ago, to your point, that doesn't go away.
Right.
Right. They did buy up a huge amount of housing stock. They haven't been doing that recently. And it is the usual suspects. It's median home price is $400K. I mean, median.
Yeah.
It is 6 to 7%. It's 7% mortgage rates. It used to be 4 or 3. And there are people out there that are saying, wow, I've got to listen. They say, well, I've got a 2.75%. Mm-hmm. So it's all of those. And then it's of course, I hope you like your neighbor, where people are not wanting to move because they've locked in that.
Well, there's also that. I mean, there's only 2 people in my house now, but that's the only house I ever bought. That's where I'm comfortable. Probably some other family with 4 or 5 kids could probably use it, but it's it's the best investment I've ever made in my life. I only bought one house.
I think the one thing I don't see in these articles that doesn't get talked about, and I think it's a really big variable, and part of this is actually reflected in these higher home prices, 50% rise since the COVID in the last 5 years, is that the utility of a home, because of remote work and flexible schedules, is higher today, I believe, than it used to be.
Well, according to the National Association of Realtors, in this CBS News story, only 24% of housing sales last year were by first-time home buyers. That's down from 50% in 2010.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Let people know how to get more Wes Moss.
Easy to do so. Right here, Money Matters 9 to 11, WSB Radio. And you can find me and our team at Your Wealth. That's YOURwealth.com.
Thank you, Wes Moss. Alex Williams says there's a crash, unfortunately, on 85 in Midtown.
Yeah, Eric, this one's been lingering with us for a while. Still in the HOV lane, 85 northbound, right under 17th Street, exit 251. But the big jam starts before that from Highway 166, Langford Parkway, trying to make your way up past the Varsity toward 10th Street in the Midtown area. Still fighting the battle southbound from the 85-400 merge all the way down to I-20. And a much better news in Canton. Everything is cleaned up but nicely. 575 northbound. That crash is cleared up at Highway 140, exit number 16. So no more need for an alternate as you make the trek up out of Woodstock and Holly Springs toward Canton. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
At Butler Lexus of South Atlanta, you're their priority. From personalized service to luxury amenities, they make sure you feel valued every step of the way. Buying or servicing, your experience matters. Call 800-NEW-LEXUS. Butler Lexus South Atlanta, the standard of amazing.
Men, trouble in the bedroom? Not anymore. Priority Men's Medical Center restores your love life in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE. Here's a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Have Viagra or Cialis let you down? Priority Men's Medical Center offers the most effective treatments that eliminate ED and PE, with men lasting longer than ever. 98% of patients see instant results on their first visit.
Priority Men's Medical Center's breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. Your consultation and first treatment are free. You'll see instant results in the office. Plus, qualified patients get their testosterone checked free. Call 404-885-8885. 404-885-8885. To restore your love life in just one visit, call now. 404-885-8885.
Not everything in life comes with a guarantee, but for premium local farm fresh sod that comes with a 1-year guarantee, family owned and operated NG Turf is the only grower to consider. NG Turf sells direct to homeowners. Get your sod from a certified turf professional at ngturf.com.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty, that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
You fell in love with her because she's unlike any other woman in the world, so why settle for an ordinary engagement ring you could find almost anywhere? Well, I know a place where you can design your own custom engagement ring. Terra Fine Jewelry Company. At Terra, the styles and designs are endless, and their expert jewelers make it easy to bring your personally designed engagement ring to life. Your bride-to-be deserves more than a cookie-cutter engagement ring, so explore the vast options of custom design rings at Terra Fine Jewelry Company in Beaufort, Georgia. Terra Fine Jewelry Company.
You need a real vacation, one where you can truly disconnect and be present. I'm Richard with Lux and Rome Travel. I take the stress out of planning, so you can focus on relaxing, enjoying, and making memories that last a lifetime. From European family adventures to luxury cruises, we design trips tailored just for you. Be present on your dream vacation with Lux and Rome. Book today at luxrome.com. That's LuxeRoam.com. That's luxrome.com.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated doors. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Get $200 cash for your old entry door, too. It's cash for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Convenient, free in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA Door.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 5:30. I'm Veronica Waters. News is brought to you by Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. WSB's top local story. Honking drivers express support for demonstrators outside the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention in Atlanta. WSB's Steve Summers joins us live outside the CDC entrance with what these protesters are calling the latest outrage from the Trump administration.
Yeah, Veronica, more than 100 demonstrators along Clifton Road at the CDC front gate, current employees, fired employees, parents of employees, and CDC retirees. Today, railing against the latest terminations, all 17 members of the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices.
Healthcare providers rely on ACIP to ensure vaccine recommendations are based on the best science available.
Those firings by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Today, several speakers called for Kennedy's termination at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Steve Summers, 95.5 WSB.
Thank you, Steve. It is now 75 degrees in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards says that these storms we've been seeing are going to be clearing out tonight. We're going to see overnight temperatures in the mid-60s and a lot of sunshine coming our way tomorrow to help dry us out. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast is just ahead. A convicted felon is under federal indictment after investigators make Georgia's largest ever fentanyl bust. He's 47-year-old Bartholomew Keaton Harrelson, and his Atlanta apartment had more than 56 kilograms of fentanyl, 84 kilos of meth, 10 kilos of heroin, and about 4 kilos of cocaine. The FBI says it was all in powder and hundreds of thousands of pressed pill form. The felon also had 28 weapons stashed away. The Georgia Supreme Court rules against the state election board's controversial rule changes.
The court's ruling finds the board overstepped in passing sweeping changes before last year's presidential election. In a unanimous decision, the justices say the board is only allowed to enforce current state election law. Prior to last year's election, the appointed board approved rules requiring the hand counting of ballots and that elections are certified only after a reasonable inquiry. Opponents argued the rules could have caused chaos last November, but supporters say they were critical to ensuring accuracy. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
President Trump says he's renaming Army bases to honor Confederate leaders of the Civil War, including slave owner and General Robert E. Lee. He dropped this bombshell at Fort Bragg this afternoon, which was originally named for Confederate General Braxton Bragg, was renamed Fort Liberty during the Biden administration, and is now Bragg again.
Fort Bragg is
Inn. That's the name. And Fort Bragg, it shall always remain. That's never going to be happening again.
In 2021, Congress passed a law that banned naming U.S. military assets after anyone who voluntarily served or held leadership in the Confederacy. The Douglas County Animal Shelter reopens its doors today after 2 weeks under quarantine.
The Georgia Department of Agriculture gives the shelter the okay to open back up to the public after 13 dogs were diagnosed with pneumovirus and 3 dogs tested positive for parvovirus last month.
The pneumovirus is actually a new strain. There is not a vaccine for it at this point. It's very treatable. We use a round of doxycycline.
Douglas County Animal Services Director Vanessa Francikowski previously told WSB pneumovirus is extremely contagious and lasts longer than other viruses. Austin Eller, 95.5 WSB.
The Gwinnett County Public Library is selected for a major national grant from the Carnegie Corporation of New York. GCPL will use the money to expand English language classes, working in partnership with Gwinnett County Public Schools. It's 5:34. Time now for live team coverage of traffic and weather. And first, let's check in on the drive. And heading that up is Alex Williams in the WSB 24-hour traffic center.
Still watching this stalled truck in the second left lane in Smyrna, 285 southbound, the outer loop, just before Paces Ferry Road, exit 18. That's just south of the Truist Park region. So it's keeping you on the brake lights, 285 westbound, the outer loop back into Sandy Springs, and also adding to the 75 southbound delays coming out of Marietta, trying to ramp on to 285 south there by the ballpark. Elsewhere, 285 eastbound into DeKalb County jams in right at Georgia 400, the Chamblee or Ashford-Dunwoody Road region, and it stays heavy over to I-85 in the Dorville area. Southbound delays continue into Tucker and Clarkston, breaking free right around Memorial Drive. 285 and northbound, the outer loop in DeKalb County also slow. Going to see if there's anything new cooking up around the Highway 78 Stone Mountain Freeway region. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms will come to an end this evening, becoming partly cloudy with some areas of patchy fog for tomorrow morning, lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, high 87. Partly cloudy, hot and humid Thursday, high 88. A few pop-up showers and storms on Friday, high 86. Widespread rain showers and thunderstorms return on Saturday, high 83.
69 degrees in Flowery Branch. It's 74 in Griffin and 75 in Midtown Atlanta at 5:35. More news at 6 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
You didn't choose to get in a wreck, but you can choose the best attorney to fight for you. Trust the guys I trust, the strong arm, John Foy and Associates. Hey, it's Smilin' Mark McKay. With personal injury attorneys, you have a lot of choices. Here's some of the reasons why I choose the strong arm. They treat you with compassion and respect. Their customer service is exceptional. They listen, communicate, and are genuine good people that don't charge you until they win. If I got in a wreck, this would be my first call. JohnFoy.com.
When everyone in the family wants something different from this year's vacation, there's only one thing to do. Plan for Pigeon Forge. From gorgeous mountain views, shows, and shopping for leisure lovers to coasters, a 200-foot swing, and hundreds more rides for adventure seekers. Plus Dollywood's epic array of fun. There's plenty of variety for the whole family, all in one place. Unique experiences, quality time, and memories for years to come. Find your personal favorites. Plan your getaway at mypigeonforge.com.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast, local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Right now, get 4 windows free with every 4 you buy, plus no interest for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
A DUI conviction could be life-changing. Get the DUI lawyer, GeorgeStein.com.
When you need quality professional tree work, choose Heath Tree Service. Hi, I'm Jimmy Heath. My father started Heath Tree Service over 60 years ago, and we're still family-owned. Certified arborists and experts with trees. Find us at heathtreeservice.com.
You got your termites billed and they raised your rate again. Switch to Breda Pest Management and your rate's locked in for 10 years. BredaPest.com.
Breda, no need to be afraid of bugs.
I like that little your jury rigging your mic there.
I am. I'm trying to DIY this. If nobody wants to help me with my
microphone arm.
Haven't you filed a ticket yet?
I don't know how to file a ticket.
Has Jared filed a ticket?
I remember a time where the host of the show would just say something into the microphone, and everybody go, we've got to fix that. Want to make that guy happy.
You know, people are watching.
I remember.
People are watching us on our super secret camera feed.
At least 7.
Hey, Jared, I was one of the 7 people watching. I love the hug. Now, can you, Tim, crowd around Eric's microphone and cup the microphone and push it up and down, and have the head follow the microphone?
All right, see, these things cost money.
Yeah,
you don't just order things like this.
behind a paywall, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You want that kind of pleasure. You don't get that for free.
I'm not giving that away for free.
Absolutely. It's behind the paywall. That's right. You have to go behind the paywall. And so there's some things happening there you never want to tell your children about. But there is the paywall and going behind it. I thought
Daily
you said,
content on my free page, but the good stuff you got to pay for.
That's right. So some MAGA mom's mad at me.
Yes, she's on our Von Hessler Doctrine Instagram. She says, MAGA certainly isn't in need of your RIP, EVH. We're still going strong. Her name is Tina.
It makes hello.
Oh, it's
Tina.
your wife. It's your wife.
This is not my wife.
It's Tina Yamamoto.
The nicest MAGA in the world.
But I mean, that just shows the point that I'm talking about. It's not about policies or this or that. It's about what every other movement was ever about. It's about power. And once you have power, maintaining power. And what Tina understands is what Trump does now between now and 28 doesn't matter. What matters is he needs support, and she will be there to support him. And that's what the movement is. Because we lost power once. We can't have that happen again. Most important thing to any movement is power. They get power by convincing you that they're about something else. That's human history. That's how it works. You work really hard. You knock on the doors. Somebody else gets rich from it. Somebody else gets power from it. And everybody convinces themselves, oh, no, not the movement, not whether it's the hippies from the 60s or MAGA or the Tea Party or anybody along the way. They convince themselves, no, this is different. But it's not different. I told you. Now, Tina could say, I don't look at this thing where my president has given so much money to Palantir. Eric was saying that that this is going to be used to create basically a dossier on every American. And that's not what I voted for. I wanted to get rid of the deep state. But Tina's way past that. We won, and then we lost. That was awful. Now we've won again. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to abandon my boy. I'm not going to abandon my guy. And that's, fine. Good for you. Have a good life. But don't pretend that the movement is about a particular policy or anything along those lines. Because I thought, just looking, that MAGA was about getting rid of the deep state.
We like the shallow state.
Okay, actually I think that I think it was about the depth. Turns out you wanted a deeper state.
Okay.
Ooh.
And so
the deepest state.
Do we love the deeper state?
We want a swamp that's more full than the one we had before.
But here's the thing, Tina, and I'm sure you're a very nice woman. You cannot come up with an argument about how that Palantir thing and that money is actually leading to the uprooting of the deep state. This is what I know, Tina. You cannot make that argument. Go ahead. I'll give you 72 hours to put it together. You can't do it. It's not, because it's not happening. And someday, long after all this is over, whatever your age is, you'll look back in the rearview mirror and you'll see this. And nobody likes to hear it from somebody who's seeing it out the windshield, because when you're not going to see it until it's the rearview mirror, unless you really actually don't care about anything but winning and you're willing to state that to your friends. And I would say, well, good. Congratulations. You're being honest with yourself and with others. But if MAGA is going to be okay with Palantir creating a dossier on every American, that means that MAGA is about having power. It's not about you never cared about the deep state. Eric, don't tell me I never cared. Well, you're not doing anything about finding out that it's getting deeper now. So what that means logically is you never really cared. What were you going to say?
Oh, your message is obviously resonating with some people here. Like Jackie in the same thread put, it is so disappointing. America doesn't have a chance. We continue to be lied to from all sides.
But here's the thing. It's not new. Look at the history of the world. Almost every country from the beginning of time, region, empire, have been run by crazy people. It's the crazy people who get to the top. It's not the slightly balding accountant that knows how to act in an emergency situation. That guy doesn't get to the top. Or gal.
The slightly balding gal.
The slightly balding gal. She doesn't get to the top.
Okay.
The point is, it's not that unusual. It's just that we live in a country where, because of our system, politicians can come along every couple of years and try to convince you that this time it's different, but it's never different. It's the Who song, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Oh, the particulars will change. You know, what we want to bend the Constitution to make happen will be different than the other side. But are we going to bend the Constitution to make it happen? Well, hell yeah. Why? Because we've got it and you don't. What? Power. And then when you have it and we don't, you can just shove it down our throat too. It's a compact.
Yay.
I love the Biden people who can't. Can you believe that he's using the government like taking DEI out of government agencies? Can you believe he's using? Well, how do you think they got in there? Are they in the Constitution? No, it's just that the people that you like bent the Constitution and just fed their ideas down the throats of people who didn't agree with them. And now all it is meet the new boss, same as the old boss. Not exactly the same, different priorities. But what is the same is it ain't about you. It's about them.
Oh, I thought the founders came up with DEI, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
this
they
is
certainly
news
did.
to me.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Jefferson especially.
Yeah. They felt it was important.
Yes, I must make love to women of all colors.
Right. And hey, that's a beginning.
Yes.
Well, I guess. I don't know. It's not. Just stop following people and movements. They're just going to let you down. I believe in me, Yoko and me, and that's reality.
That's right.
What are you doing over there? Running? You look like you're in some sort of emergency situation, Judge.
No, it's always an emergency. When Alex Williams texts me with the latest traffic, it's always an emergency.
I think we should change that too. I think Alex Williams should just, whenever he decides it's time to go with traffic, he should just cut us off. Just
no sounder.
No sounder.
Traffic's bad.
Even when he's bored, if he doesn't like what we're doing, hey, there's traffic.
Yeah, he can make him like the executive producer of the show. He can decide.
All
right,
whenever it's time. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
There he is.
There you go. Hey, Alex, tell us what's going on the roads.
I am happy to do so, Eric. Right now, we're watching a slow ride into downtown through West Atlanta, I-20 eastbound. It is a brake light battle starting at Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, exit 53, trying to ramp onto 75-85 northbound because that ride stays slow, starting back at Langford Parkway all the way up to this lingering crash that is still in the HOV lane right under 17th Street, exit 251. Southbound delays, you start to jam in from the 85-400 merge for the ride down to I-20. And on I-20 eastbound into Cobb County, you're on the brakes through the work zone, though no crashes in the way, just slow. I-20 eastbound from 285, the west side perimeter, as you make your way out to Panola Road, exit number 71 in Lithonia. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
In Atlanta, there is always something happening.
Tanker truck crashed into the median.
The Triple Team Traffic Center has you covered.
No traffic getting through in either direction.
Helping you on your commute.
Avoid the area at all costs. Take Highway 155 or Highway 4223.
Brought to you by the Cool Ray Lifetime Parts and Labor Warranty.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
The Guaranteed Offer from Mark Spain Real Estate is the easiest way to sell your home. You can save time, make the most money, and eliminate all the hassle this summer. Hi, it's Chris Chandler. My friends at Mark Spain Real Estate can sell your home with the strongest all-cash offer in the industry and help you move on your timeline. With over 67,000 satisfied clients, you can trust the most experienced real estate team in the U.S. to sell your home fast and for maximum profit. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Hi, I'm consumer investigator Dale Cardwell, and for over a decade, I've trusted America's best choice for windows, doors, siding, and decks. They've built their reputation on quality craftsmanship and honest pricing, and I've seen firsthand how they put customers first. That's why I proudly certify them for windows, doors, siding, and decks. And with ABC's 3-way warranty, which includes my $10,000 Make It Right guarantee, you can invest with confidence.
Spring is the perfect time to update your home, and America's Best Choice makes it easy with these spring specials. Highest quality, energy-efficient windows starting at just $299. Take 10% off a new deck and create the outdoor oasis of your dreams. Enhance your home's curb appeal with limited time spring pricing on siding and doors. No pressure, no gimmicks. Visit abcwin.com today to schedule your free consultation. America's best choice, quality you can trust, prices you can afford.
Motorcycle riders know that a distracted driver can knock you down. It's nice to know that Steel Horse Law can pick you back up. Hey, it's Eric Von Hessler for Steel Horse Law, the Stein and Karen Law Group. In the worst possible scenario, when someone causes you to lay your bike down, Steel Horse Law will get you the best possible settlement. Their name strikes fear in the heart of big insurance companies because Steel Horse Law is respected and will make them pay. Visit steelhorselaw.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/fax. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
It's kind of hilarious watching the screen up there, CNN. These reporters in Los Angeles acting like they're in a war zone. They just can't find a battle. It looks like everything that's going on with this, I think they've hooked up with a reporter that's in LA, KTLA, and on CNN. And all I see her is like the camera and the reporter are just going through a bunch of cops who are going, go over there. Yeah. Over here. Just go over here. Go over there. Yeah. All right. Back up a little bit.
And then the people complying.
Well, no, I'm talking about for the reporter.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying they're just telling the reporters, yeah, go over here. Go back. Yeah. And in reality, I saw a thing of, was it fifth night? Is this the fifth?
It is technically going to be the fifth night,
okay.
Yes.
The bottom of CNN, it said fifth day of protest in Los Angeles. I think it should say fifth day of disappointing protest. Not even the word disappointing. Underwhelming. There you go. Fifth day of underwhelming protests in L.A. But as you see, like people are calling for protest around here and go there and be here. And what's going on right now from all sides, because all sides want this. The media wants it. The president wants it. The left wants it. Everybody wants it. It's just because there's nothing really going on, all that, you're still seeing footage from stuff that was done over the weekend. Like
yeah,
that
they
Waymo.
are showing those B-roll.
By the way, the Waymo has been put out. It's not still on fire. Just so you know, it's not still on fire. But the idea here is just keep it going until it explodes. Just keep it going until if we keep this going long enough, there will be a spark and it will explode. That's where we're at right now. I mean, CNN is dedicated. I have not seen anything since I've been here of people going crazy. All I see are reporters walking through cops. That's all I see. Now, I'm not down on the ground, and I'm sure maybe there's some other stuff I haven't seen.
It doesn't get crazy there till after midnight, LA time.
Right, and that's the whole idea. The whole idea is by everybody, the administration, the media, the left, is to keep this thing a-boiling until it boils over. And if it boils long enough, like anything that boils, it will boil over sooner or later. But we're on the 5th day, and you're still showing me beef footage of the burning Waymo. That happened 3 days ago.
This is the problem with media that has to keep eyes on you, or else they don't make money for their drug commercials.
Well, I would start. Yes, and I would start with it's also the problem of, we don't live in a country that wants to solve problems anymore. It's just brute force. If I've got 51.5%, I'm going to shove it all down your throat. And so, look at the response. I'm going to send 15 billion Marines. There's like Marine, they're not there yet. But it's just cops bumping into each other. That's what I'm seeing on TV. But let's just keep it going. Gavin Newsom's like, if I don't get the jump on the Democrat presidential nomination for 28 out of this, what was it for? I could have spent the last 3 or 4 days actually doing my job, and who the hell wants to do that?
Yeah,
as governor of California.
Well, I'm helping him out, actually, because I would prefer him.
Oh, is that why?
I don't like JD. I'd be happy if...
this is elevating.
Good looking, has the right hair. He looks like Thomas Jefferson or Andrew Jackson.
And by the way, who says Hollywood's dead? They can still put on a good TV show.
Oh, yes.
People have been watching this TV show for the last 5 days. Nothing's happening.
Although I was watching CNN earlier as I was getting ready for the show, and Wolf did look a little bored today. So
Wolf's been put out to pasture.
I want to talk about Russia bombing Kiev for the last week.
That's right, yeah.
There was the other reporter they put him with, or the other anchor they put him with, when they were interviewing somebody who was on the ground during all the protests, and they only thanked Wolf, and I could tell, you saw in her eyes that she was mad. She was mad that she wasn't acknowledged either.
Oh, yeah, well, you got to be acknowledged. This is what reporters live for.
Yeah.
That's what reporters live for. Yeah. Yes, I'm still here. No, it's still the same situation. I'm having to, go over there? Okay, yes, sir. I'll go over there. Yes, well, there's been a lot of, and the governor is suing, and I don't know why I have a fake microphone in front of my face. As I'm acting
I
this
like
out.
that. I like the pen. Yeah. You got the double microphone going there.
Pen. I'm like one of those stupid YouTube podcasters who has a microphone in their hand for no good reason.
No.
The kid
that little thing.
Yeah, the lavalier. Hey.
Hey, now that's highly memeable though, right there. You could easily take that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sharpie. It's about time. Alex Williams says there's a big jam, not like a concert, but a big jam up on 285 getting past Truist Park.
Yeah, not fun this afternoon, Eric. They got 2 left lanes blocked. Big rig tow truck on the scene trying to clear the stalled big rig. 285 southbound, the outer loop, Paces Ferry Road, exit 18, stacked up back into Sandy Springs. Traffic troopers just tell me of a new crash. 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Chamblee Dunwoody Road, exit 30, blocking at least 1 lane. You're slow from Georgia 400. Brakes free briefly once you get past that, then it slows again from Peachtree Boulevard. As you make the way past I-85 in Dorville down into Tucker and Clarkston. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age, system, make, or model. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
You know what really stinks about having your house over a crawl space other than the smell of dead rodents, water intrusion, and mold? Nothing. Dave Baker here. Now is the season to let AquaGuard Foundation Solutions save your crawl space from bad things down there and make the air you breathe in your home healthier with a crawl space encapsulation. Simply set up a free inspection at aquaguard.net. AquaGuard Foundation Solutions. There's a reason they're the trusted local experts. Say the name. AquaGuard.
At Shane Company, we know getting engaged is a big decision. But once you know, you know. That's the way our customers feel when they choose a Shane Company engagement ring. They walk into a warm welcome and walk out with their dream ring, knowing they got it right. For almost 100 years, we've been offering personalized shopping experiences. And we're in it way past the honeymoon, with a free lifetime warranty that includes the center stone, cleanings, repairs, and resizing for life. Shop with us at shaneco.com or at your neighborhood store. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Is your old garage door a real clunker? Overhead Door Company of Atlanta is paying cash for your clunkers now. They'll haul away your old garage door and give you instant credit towards the new insulated doors. $200 for the first garage door and $100 for each additional door. Get $200 cash for your old entry door, too. It's cashed for clunkers now at Overhead Door Company of Atlanta. Convenient, free, in-home estimates. Schedule online at overheaddooratlanta.com or call 404-USA Door.
At Ameris Bank, we know that it's never just business when it's your business. I'm Brian Parks, head of commercial banking in Atlanta for Ameris Bank. Whether your business is looking to optimize cash flow, improve your payment technology, or grow more quickly, my team and I are here and ready to help with a superior level of service, smart banking technology, and local market expertise. I invite you to reach out to my team by visiting amerisbank.com/yourbusiness or a local branch near you. Ameris Bank, fiercely yours, member FDIC.
Belinda Skelton here for Atlanta Vision Institute, and I have Stephanie with me. She's a patient of Dr. Ashraf, and Stephanie recently had the laser optics procedure. Stephanie, why did you have the laser optics procedure?
I wanted to be able to not ever use reading glasses again because I got tired of pulling my phone out of my purse when I forgot them to blow things up, and I just wanted to see.
And how was life after laser optics procedure at Atlanta Vision Institute?
Incredible. I could read the bottom of a nail polish bottle. I don't need my readers, never used them since I've had my laser optics procedure. It's been amazing.
What would you say to people who are on the fence about having the procedure?
Do you want to see?
That says it all, folks. Folks, if you want to see like Stephanie, go to 2020atlanta.com. That's 2020atlanta.com.
I love my home, and now I found a company that loves it as much as I do. TE Certified Electrical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. It's Chris Chandler here. These folks have done work in my home, and boy, it didn't take long to realize I could trust their expertise, their attention to detail, and what I think you'll find, just as I did, an amazing level of service. TE Certified has more than 20,000 five-star reviews, and it's been serving Atlanta for decades.
TE Certified, we love your home.
News, weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk.
It is 6 o'clock. I'm Veronica Waters. The news this hour is brought to you by Mark Spain Real Estate. WSB's top local story this hour comes from the state Supreme Court making a major ruling today about the state election board. They say unanimously that the state election board overstepped its authorities when passing controversial election rules right before the presidential election of 2024.
In a unanimous ruling, the state's high court invalidated the rules that would have required the hand counting of ballots and that election workers certify only after a reasonable inquiry. In the ruling, the justices make it clear that the election board can only enforce current state law. The measures passed before last year's presidential election were already held up by a lower court ruling. Supporters say the rules were about ensuring accuracy, while opponents argued it could have caused chaos during the election. Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
76 degrees now in Midtown Atlanta. WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards expect we're going to see some partly cloudy skies overnight with lows around 66. Tomorrow, the sunshine comes back, and so do the hotter temperatures. Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast is coming up. An Atlanta man is facing charges after federal investigators conduct the largest fentanyl seizure in Georgia history. Officials say they found enough of the potent drug to kill 48 million people. A grand jury has now indicted 47-year-old Bartholomew Harrelson in connection with the bust. FBI Atlanta Special Agent in Charge Paul Brown.
We, alongside our federal, state, and local partners, will work tirelessly to eliminate the scourge of drugs, guns, and violent crime in our communities and keep all Georgians safe.
The investigation is ongoing, and they expect more arrests. A walkout at the CDC one day after Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. removes all 17 sitting members of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's Vaccine Advisory Committee.
RFK Jr. has preconceived ideas of what things should be, and he's going to bring people in who support his thoughts. And that's not how science should work. Science should follow the evidence.
More than 100 protesters showed up, according to WSB's Steve Summers, outside the CDC. They range from current employees to retirees. They say Kennedy himself is a public health threat.
This is not a reorganization.
This is destruction.
Some Army bases in Georgia are among those President Trump says he's renaming after Confederate leaders once again. He visited Fort Bragg today ahead of Saturday's celebration of the Army's 250th anniversary. Now, Bragg had been changed to Fort Liberty during the Biden administration. Trump listed 7 other bases, which will now honor soldiers who took up arms against the U.S. government during the Civil War, including slave owner Robert E. Lee.
We won a lot of battles out of those forts. It's no time to change. And I'm superstitious, I like to keep it going, right?
He also defends sending National Guard and Marine troops to L.A. during the immigration protests this week. The Defense Department says doing so will cost $134 million. A man from Snellville is facing some charges in Cobb County after leaving his 2 kids in a hot car.
Cobb police say the car was parked outside the Cumberland Mall for more than 40 minutes in 80-degree weather. After receiving a tip from a witness, officers broke into the vehicle. The 1- and 2-year-old kids were taken to a hospital for evaluation. According to a warrant, the temperature inside the car where each child was sitting was recorded at 104 and 106 degrees. Their father, Jaquan Dixon, is charged with 2 counts of 2nd-degree cruelty to children. Dixon is out on $10,000 bond. Amanda Moyer, 95.5 WSB.
More than 10,000 church representatives gather in Dallas for today's start of the annual meeting of the Southern Baptist Convention. This year, members will be asked to approve resolutions lamenting willful childlessness and calling for bans on same-sex marriage and pornography and restrictions on sports betting. Tomorrow, they'll debate whether to institute a ban on churches with women pastors. The Major League Baseball draft is hitting Cobb County.
MLB.com announcing today that this year's draft will be held at the Coca-Cola Roxy at the Battery. The 2-day draft, which will happen during All-Star Week, kicks off opening night Sunday, July 13th at the Roxy, with the live broadcast airing on both ESPN and the MLB Network. That broadcast starts at 6 p.m. and is going to feature the first 3 rounds or 105 picks, along with several other rounds before continuing at the Roxy on Monday with round 4. That's also going to be carried live on both networks. Michelle Wright, 95.5 WSB.
6:04. That means the Von Haessler Doctrine is continuing for you in less than 2 minutes. But first, we got to help get you home with some live team coverage of your traffic and weather. Alex Williams is updating the evening commute.
Yeah, we have some better news in Smyrna, Veronica. The earlier stalled big rig was in the second left lane, then they blocked 2 left lanes. The good news is it's all off to the right. Everything is back open. 285 southbound, the outer loop, Paces Ferry Road, exit 18, but still a very slow ride all the way back into Dunwoody. Traffic troopers also say a new crash might be impacting that right lane. 285 westbound, the outer loop past Riverside Drive. Now leaving Sandy Springs toward Dunwoody. There's a new crash our traffic troopers told us about. 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, exit 30. Trying to get all eyes on that, but at least one lane is blocked there, keeping you slow from Georgia 400. And the earlier crash in Midtown, 7585 northbound up around 17th Street, still impacting that HOV lane. The toughest part of that ride starts back at University Avenue up past Freedom Parkway. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
All right, and now it is time for Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. It's sponsored by Shoemate, the official air conditioning of Atlanta. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms will come to an end this evening, becoming partly cloudy with some areas of patchy fog for tomorrow morning, lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, high 87. Partly cloudy, hot and humid Thursday, high 88. A few pop-up showers and storms on Friday, high 86. Widespread rain showers and thunderstorms return on Saturday, high 83.
73 degrees right now in the city of South Fulton. It's 71 in Clarkston and 76 degrees in Midtown Atlanta at 6:06. More news at 6:30. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
Hour 4 of the Von Haessler Doctrine begins right now. Yes, I'm out here, Jake. I'm out here on the streets of Los Angeles. There's a man next to me with a Mexican flag, and the police do not seem to care or have any interest in responding whatsoever. Back to you in the studio, Jake.
Hey, listen, it's Erin Burnett out front. She is out front.
There's 25 protesters there. Look.
You know, this is the silliest thing I've ever, and I know what's going to happen. Is it's going to blow up overnight, either tonight or tomorrow, and the listeners are going to be like, Eric, see? Well, yeah, if you just keep it going for days and days and days, sooner or later, somebody's going to get there.
People aren't spilling in like they did in the previous protests.
First of all, here's the thing, and this goes along with, this call. I don't know how well this stuff this weekend, no Kings and all that. Right now, I think if you don't want ICE to find you, going to the rally that was put on Facebook is probably not the smartest thing, because there's a chance that ICE put that on Facebook. You think that they wouldn't do that? It's like, hey, there's going to be a rally against ICE over whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's all, look at this, the aerial shots. There's nobody there. I have to believe they have an eye in the sky. I don't know if it's a drone. It doesn't really if it's a drone or a helicopter.
I think it's a helicopter. Pretty sure it's a helicopter.
So if there was a huge crowd anywhere, we'd see it. It can't be like, oh, well, you're just not seeing it because you're down on the ground. They have a helicopter. If there was a huge crowd anywhere, you would see it. This is like Potemkin Village. The Democrats and the Trump administration and the media want this to happen so badly. Trump wants somebody in the protesters to do something so outrageous that it'll piss everybody off. And then, boom, that's the trigger. Now we can go in. And the Democrats or the left want that too. Because you might lose in the moment. You're not going to beat all these National Guard and everything, but the money that you'll raise from it. And then, of course, Gavin Newsom, who is still praying to whomever he prays to that he can get perp walked by the Trump administration so that he can be seen the next day or that minute as the front runner for the Democrat nomination in 2028 for presidency. Yeah, it really is. And it's just like nobody will go home. Nobody, Trump looks at this crowd of, 50 people.
I think you're being generous.
We need more Marines.
You see
Is that really a thing?
I don't think there's 50 people in that circle.
Okay, there's
no
a couple of different places. So there's this place, which I think is the federal building, right?
Yes.
And I don't know if the other one is another federal building. But there's no place where there's 10,000 people on the street. None.
I told the president, just get it over with. Arrest me. Move on.
So
if
I can
need some head to scalp, do it with me. But stop messing with these kids.
Stop these kids.
These
poor
kids. Poor kids.
These children.
Little kids out there playing.
Little kids. These toddlers. How can you believe it? So they're all pretending that it's something that it's not. Trump's pretending it's something it's not. The Democrats are pretending it's something it's not. The media just needs somebody to pay attention. They're losing money like crazy.
Well, and then
now Google's going off the search, so like the Axioses of the world will be gone soon.
CNN is also part of that big Time Warner split too, so I wonder if that's
what happened with that? I saw that headline. I'm like, Warner Brothers, is this just the beginning of the end? Is this just used to be a big company and it's going to be gone soon?
HBO
They've been through 7 permutations in the last 2 years.
The streamers, from what I read, the streamers are sticking together. So like HBO Max and that part of it is going to be together, but then the TV part's going to be separate. But I mean, you want to be on the streaming side.
Remember he came in and like there was CNN Plus, he got rid of that, and then he moved this and that. He's been moving the deck chairs on the Titanic for like 2.5 years now, this David Zaslav.
Maybe we'll have Warner Brothers and Warner Cousins.
Remember when AOL took over Warner for a while? Remember
gosh,
AOL Warner?
Oh, yeah. Right before they collapsed.
Well, yeah, of course, because it was silly. Warner was always the bigger catch than AOL, which was like the moment. Yeah, you know what I think? Yeah, I'm a visionary. I'm a futurist. I think people will be sticking. It wasn't even CDs at first, right? It was
floppy
just
disk. I remember
people be putting floppy disk into their computers to find entrance to the internet forever now.
I remember
so they should take over Warner Brothers.
I remember going to the grocery store with my mom before we just got our first computer, and at the grocery store next to all the gum and stuff, they had the AOL floppy disks, and I remember grabbing them, and I'm like, Mom,
how
this is
old were
cool.
you?
I had to have been like probably 11, 12.
Okay, and how long did it take you
Maybe
to
a little
find?
younger.
How long did it take you to find the good stuff on the computer?
Not long. Although it did take our dial-up though. Remember, it like load. It started at the bottom.
No, I know. It's like. No, mine would start at the top.
A boob. Yes.
Yeah, it starts at the top.
Mine would start at the top. I'd be like, well, I like the hairline. I'll go make myself a sandwich and come back and see how it all works out.
Great bangs.
Yeah. You got to hurry. It was the race between the actual picture, finding all of the pixels on your computer screen, to, like your parents coming back from the mall. Which was going to get there first?
Oh yeah.
The
That's why summer vacation
actually
was
was
great.
oh yeah. Oh, Mom's going on errands.
I have at least 30 minutes to download this.
Oh, yes. I should be able to get at least 2 or 3 pictures in 30 minutes. And then I can print them out. Because I don't know how, at that point, I have no idea how to store them in any way. So I have to print them out.
Can't save them on the hard drive. Nudie pics in the folder.
Is that, well, you don't want to name them nudie pics. That's number one.
That's true.
Homework.
Yeah.
Homework.
Not how
nudie pics. How about this? PBS.
Oh, yeah.
No one would. You would give it like the most boring possible folder name in the
War of
world.
1812.
Yeah.
Tolkien essays.
You don't want to get, because then you get like historians in there and they'll start looking through your stuff. You really want to, put.
That's not a Hobbit?
Well, sort of.
How to homemade paper clips. How to make homemade paper clips.
Ooh, that's a great one.
Actually, that would
really
get
generic and awful.
Yeah, just like who would open that folder?
A blacksmith pounding them out. Ping, ping, ping.
But those days are gone. Now we have no innocence left. No childhood innocence. It can't be left at all, can it? I mean,
No, that's not true. It's still there.
Oh, they're seeing stuff. They're just not telling you. Come on.
Well, no.
I mean, they're friends at school. They're, it's.
Well, yeah, but that's always been the case. Friends at school.
Yeah, but friends at school didn't have access to every piece of pornography that was ever created in the history of the world during recess. I mean, things have gotten a little different. Are your kids allowed to have their phones during recess? I would take the phones away.
No, they don't have a phone. They don't have a phone at all. I mean, they have old phones of mine, but they're not like phones.
But
they just play games on them.
Okay,
but they're not allowed to bring them to school.
None?
No.
From you or from the school?
Oh, from the school.
Okay,
I mean, it's still
good.
an elementary school. So in middle school you are allowed to have your phone, but you're not allowed to use it like until after school.
Your oldest is not in middle school yet?
No, not yet. She's graduating Thursday.
Oh, wow.
We didn't used to call that graduation, but these days they get
It's a big deal going from elementary school to middle school. In fact, I think that's the biggest.
I didn't notice it.
Besides high school to college,
Your
I think
parents didn't notice it.
that's.
I did graduate from kindergarten. I remember that.
Okay.
I remember us singing a song about a bee that stung some. I remember us standing against the wall.
I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee.
Is that it? Is that the one?
Maybe.
That is a song.
It was a song.
Mommy, be so proud of me.
Did it sting you at some point? I felt like we smacked
and
our
then you
arm.
go, ouch, it stung me.
Yeah, okay,
I'm
that's
squishing
it.
up a baby bumblebee.
If
It's
you ever
not
wondered
good
what
life advice.
Wondering what I was doing in 1969, it was singing that as I graduated kindergarten.
I was
go
wondering
off to,
what you were doing.
I know you were wondering. I was singing that song very proudly. And after it was over, nobody mentioned that I was any good at all.
No,
And that's where it all started. That's where the whole downhill. If someone just would have said, hey, you sang that B, you rocked it. 3 words.
You rocked.
You rocked it.
You rocked
Would
it.
have changed the
How
entire
about I
trajectory.
love you.
Come on. Let's not ask
No,
for.
that's too
let's
much.
not ask for too much. Alex Williams says 75 southbound is slow through Marietta.
Yeah, and that is all, or most of it is due to that earlier 285 southbound outer loop trouble just below Truist Park near Paces Ferry that's cleared, but it's jammed up 75 southbound from North Marietta Parkway trying to get down to I-285. Northbound delays have cleaned up nicely between Marietta, Kennesaw, and Ackworth. 400 northbound still finding some brake lights in Sandy Springs from 285 up to the North Springs MARTA station. In 85 northbound, some leftovers slowing out of DeKalb into Gwinnett, starting right around Chamblee Tucker Road, but improving greatly once you get past Jimmy Carter Boulevard, exit 99 in Norcross. Traffic brought to you by the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup. The 2025 FIFA Club World Cup is coming to Atlanta. Get ready for a global soccer showdown at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Don't just watch history, be there. Get tickets at FIFA.com/tickets. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
More local news.
Wild scene at a Covington Walmart after an employee.
More traffic.
85 south out of Brookhaven, crowded beginning past Claremont.
More weather. The Sunnyside community may have been impacted by this tornado.
Atlanta's morning news.
Tomorrow morning
This is a complicated, controversial subject.
Wake up with 95.5 WSB.
How Atlanta starts its day. WSB Atlanta, WSB FM, and HD1 Doraville. 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's news and talk.
The Lloyd Advisory Group has a question for you. Is your retirement inflation-proof? Here's what we mean. In retirement, chances are you're on a fixed income with unpredictable expenses. So how do you not run out of money when the cost of just about everything continues to go up? You inflation-proof it. Financial advisor Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group can show you ways to help fight inflation so it doesn't outpace your income. Call us today at 770-766-5611. Inflation could take a huge chunk out of your retirement savings, but it doesn't have to. With some simple planning, inflation can go from being a major disruption to a minor annoyance. Call Mark Lloyd and the team at Lloyd Advisory Group now to start inflation-proofing your retirement today. 770-766-5611. That's 770-766-5611. Insurance products and services are offered through the Lloyd Advisory Group. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
This is Scott Slade for the great people at Ragsdale Heating and Air, where many of their employees have been with the company for 10, 20, even 30 years, and I've used them for a lot of those years. You know, with school getting out, you've got to have good air conditioning. And if you're ready for a new AC system during the month of June, Ragsdale is taking up to $1,700 off a new Carrier home comfort system, and you'll get Ragsdale's trusted 15-year parts and labor warranty. Ragsdale's the name I know you can trust for all your plumbing, electrical, and insulation needs, too. Go to RagsdaleAir.com or call them. Ragsdale, the name I know you can trust.
Cancer upends your life. We're doing all we can to change that. At Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University, we're reimagining the care experience to ease the burden of cancer. With experts in your cancer and the research, trials, and treatments you can only get here. All so you can focus on what matters most, the best chance of living a full life. Winship Cancer Institute of Emory University. Cancer care designed around you and your life. EmoryHealthcare.org/Winship.
Autumn, you were not here yesterday, so you may not know that I have an anti-sounder thing going. And I want to do something called trending, well, what used to be called What's Trending. And this Jared Yamamoto just will not get out of my grill. Hey, you know, we did this last year, and I made a sounder, and we only used it once. And don't you understand? It's my new, it's the new feature. If Apple has a liquid glass, the new feature for the Von Hessler Doctrine is no sounders before we do things.
Don't you think, though, just to kind of remind you what the old show was like, just to hear that
like
old
a week ago?
Yeah. Don't you want to hear it, just to hear what the sounder sounded like? Maybe it's so good.
Maybe it's not. It's probably not. It's worth playing.
I haven't even heard it, so I can't
It's worth
remember.
playing to remember just how bad these things can be. Go ahead.
What's trending?
All right, get out.
It's
Get
trending.
out. Get out. Get out of here with that garbage. I'll just say, hey, what's trending, Jared Yamamoto? That's a human thing, right? I'm just saying to my friend, what's trending? And
what's the tea?
Yeah, what's the tea?
Yeah,
but that's the
what's up?
tea. That's like gossip. Trending is just things that people are talking about.
But
gossip
there is crossover.
Gossip is things that people are talking about, but trending is different. It's things that people are talking about.
Can tea be trending?
Can tea be trending? Trending
It can,
tea.
but
What kind of tea?
you're right. It's not the right way to ask.
Yeah. See, when I
Say,
see
what's good, fam?
Oh, I hate that. I hate fam. I hate that.
Ooh, that's the name of the segment now.
That's what that doctor, the lady doctor, Doctor Who, fam, turned me off to fam for the whole time. So can't do that.
If you're not leading off with Connie Francis, then you're not talking about what's trending.
If I'm not okay, is that from a movie or something?
No.
That's just from what you just heard.
She is trending right now.
Connie Francis, this
Pretty
like,
Little Baby has gone gold
Yeah.
on TikTok and other platforms.
I don't know what Pretty Little Baby
I
is.
never heard the song either, but it started getting
Wasn't
played.
Connie Francis like
Where the Boy? No.
Where the Boys Are?
Yeah.
That was Connie Francis. Was
Who's
she like
sorry now?
Oh yeah. Who's
yeah, they all-
sorry now?
Yeah, they all sound the same. Where the boys are.
Is
sorry
lipstick on your
now?
collar? That lipstick,
Yes, lipstick on your
collar.
So she has
told
a
a tale on you.
so she has a new.
She had to create.
Now we're not
a-
talking about Connie Stevens
No,
here,
no, no.
who
Connie
was a country
Francis.
star.
Connie Francis had to create, I think, a
With very
TikTok
high hair.
to thank people. Because she's like, she was like, I don't really know what this is, but
So it's an old song that
Yeah,
now
it's from
it's
the
like what
50s.
happened with Kate Bush with Stranger Things. Like
Yeah.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden, well, so was it featured? It was featured on TikTok. Is that
people
why?
just started sharing it on TikTok. You've seen it, right, Autumn? Like, Yeah, people are using
A lot
it.
of weird
Can you play the
things.
song? I forget which one it is.
It's
can't
called
remember.
Pretty Little Baby. I don't
Pretty
I know.
Little
Can,
Bit.
Can George play it?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's full of curse words, so gotta be careful.
be careful.
Yes, this is everywhere on TikTok.
Well, you know what we found out? Thanks to TikTok, we found out that Connie Francis is still alive.
She's
and still with
87,
us.
yeah.
So, you know,
Thank you, TikTok.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, this isn't Pretty Little Things,
this
is
is
it?
where the boys
This
are.
is where the boys are. Well, you know, it's George Clark. He did pretty good. He's 32 years old. He jumped in there and got you a Connie Francis song.
There you go.
It just makes me want Connie Stevens.
Jared's like, this is the one that's all over TikTok.
Connie,
I
thought that was it.
Wasn't Connie Stevens in
She was
American
country.
Graffiti?
No. You're thinking, you're talking about No, I know who you're talking about, but that's not. Connie Stevens was a country music artist, I believe, with very high hair, like a beehive, like that early 1970s. I don't even know how the women did it. Were those wigs? What?
No.
What? Like, how did they do that? How did those country?
You tease them.
Yeah.
And then you put hair.
Here it is.
Yeah, this is all over the place.
Wait a minute. You said the last one's all over the
Yeah,
place.
Jared, I don't know what
They sound similar. It's the
I
same
don't
artist.
They do,
know.
kinda.
I don't know.
They do.
Who
Thank you, Tim.
I don't know who you are.
Just get in my back and try to cover for
I
me
got
over there,
you,
Jared.
George.
I appreciate it.
I have not used this in any of mine.
So is this one of those things where on TikTok everybody does the same thing or the same dance and they act like they're being creative?
I can't remember what they're
They're
doing
just
with this.
enjoying something together. It's not.
You know what? They're not
pretending
together.
They're creative.
They're not together. They're not together. They're all scattered all over the
Just
world.
don't be. You're just jealous.
No, I'm not jealous. You
You're
can
not
say
with the youths.
you can say judgmental. I don't
Utes.
want to be with the Utes.
The youths.
I don't want to be with the Utes.
You don't
I'd
wanna-
rather,
you don't
no,
wanna
I
do
would
some
rather be
stupid
closer to
trend
death.
with
I
the
would
youth.
I would be, rather be closer to my natural death than be 25 and be inside the world of music that people who are 25 are in.
By the way,
Listening
Connie
to Connie
Francis,
Francis.
still
Yeah,
with
listen
us.
to Connie Francis for heaven's
I want
sakes.
to be with these idiots.
Connie
young people.
Stevens still with us.
Connie Stevens, how old's Connie Stevens?
86.
If she let the hair down, because the hair, boy, it was a mountain. But you can
Yeah, well-
find. Did they have like any album covers from the 1970s?
She's wearing wigs now, but yeah.
But I mean, you could climb that. There was she had.
I see her more movies and shows, but
Oh wait a minute.
My dad's yearbook
Wait a minute.
has that hairstyle in it everywhere.
Are you talking about maybe the lady who was in American Graffiti?
no, she wasn't. But
No, she was in Grease too.
So this video, that obviously featuring this song,
Yeah.
was only uploaded a month ago. It has 15 million views.
Wow.
So,
Well,
Thanks, TikTok.
she makes money off that.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know
If she
did
wrote
If she
it.
owns if she owns the catalog.
Did she write
Especially
the song?
back in the day, the way
Yeah.
that music deals worked out. I
Yeah.
bet you she doesn't.
some
make
mobster's
anything from it.
kid.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
And now she's probably like, "Oh, I gotta go on tour. I'm
Yeah.
87 years old, so I to make a little bit of money off these TikTok characters. These kids. Imagine if the kids actually went and saw her in concert. It's like, play that song again. What the people like yelling at Miley Cyrus the other day? Like,
Yeah.
audiences have no. Do we have that audio or do we not have
Yeah,
it?
but they were told that was a concert.
Great, but you know what? First of all, why would they be duped into believing that was a concert? And by the time you get there and there's no speakers, like
Well,
you
you're
know what a
already there.
concert looks like.
It's also a film festival. It wasn't supposed to be a concert.
They had $800.
They paid
$800. That obviously they were not told it was a concert because it wasn't a concert. It was a movie. It was. Was it the? Is it South by Southwest or what is it?
No, I had it written down here. Well, it's the Tribeca Film Festival.
Yeah, that's the De Niro one. Yeah, so it's. I think the audience is just idiots. I don't know. We'll listen to it when we get back, but I think the audience are just idiots. Why would you think it was a concert that's going to happen? Yeah, it's going to happen at the Tribeca Film Festival. She's putting on a. Oh, she does have a movie.
singer.
Yeah, but she's premiering a movie. That's what she was there for. It's like yelling at somebody. Sing! Ridiculous. Alex Williams says there's a crash on 285 in Dunwoody.
Yeah, 285 eastbound, the inner loop right at Chamblee-Dunwoody Road, exit 30, at least one lane block slowing you back to Georgia 400, and looks like right lane trouble southeast side of the perimeter into Cab. 285 westbound, the inner loop in the Gresham Park area, right around Boulder Crest Road, exit number 51. And if you are making that commute on I-20 eastbound into Cab County, still sluggish in the work zone from 285 to Panola Road, exit 71, Lithonia. Traffic brought to you by Reliable Heating and Air. Stop paying for expensive heating and air repairs or home warranties. Get a reliable protection plan for just $14 $14.99 a month and enjoy 100% parts and labor coverage for any age, system, make, or model. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
Window Nation customers have been singing our praises for years. With fast local service and an industry-leading 96% customer satisfaction rating, it's no wonder.
I researched window companies for the last year to see what the average prices were and the quality of work. Window Nation nailed both.
Right now, get 4 windows free with every 4 you buy, plus no interest for 2 years. Hurry, this offer ends soon. Schedule a free estimate now. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. That's 866-90-NATION.
Back by popular demand, D. Geller & Son Jewelers Watches and Whiskey event is this weekend, June 13th through 15th at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, where we're celebrating summer and Father's Day by bringing in an incredible variety of new and pre-owned luxury Swiss timepieces. And while you're browsing, enjoy complimentary whiskey tastings thanks to Old Fourth Distillery, and get a free whiskey gift set with your purchase. It's this weekend, June 13th through 15th. Learn more at dgeller.com.
For over 25 years, you've counted on All Four Seasons for garage and entry doors. But we also specialize in replacement windows with a lifetime warranty. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors. Enhance your home's energy efficiency and curb appeal with a wide range of quality window options, backed by unparalleled service and craftsmanship. From garage doors to entry doors to windows, for every opening of your home, we've got you covered. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 seasonsgarages.com.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
And 6/22/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Hey, if you got weekend plans, make sure your home is ready for them. I called Wise Guys Pro Wash and boom, the house, driveway, and patio were spotless. They even cleaned the roof. I didn't even have to be home. They are truly professionals using the top equipment in the industry, and their soft washing kept my home safe and damage-free, and the results, incredible. Wise Guys has more than 2,000 5-star reviews, and I know why now. So mention me, Chris Chandler, for $70 off your next service. Book today at wiseguysprowash.com.
Live from the Superior Plumbing Studios.
News,
weather,
traffic. 95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
It's 6:30. I'm Veronica Waters. News this half hour is brought to you by the Lloyd Advisory Group. WSB's top local story: the largest fentanyl seizure in Georgia's history leads to a federal indictment of an Atlanta man. WSB's Jonathan O'Brien says this suspect is a convicted felon who also had a stash of more than 24 guns.
Investigators say the operation they uncovered was capable of producing 25,000 pills an hour. Federal agents seizing enough fentanyl to kill 48 million Americans during raids on 3 properties tied to 47-year-old Bartholomew Harrelson, who is now facing federal charges. U.S. Attorney Theodore Hertzberg.
If convicted of the offenses in the indictment, Mr. Harrelson faces at least 40 years in prison and the possibility of life imprisonment.
Officials say the investigation is ongoing and they expect more arrests. At FBI Atlanta, Jonathan O'Brien, 95.5 WSB.
Jurors are hearing evidence now in the Fulton County trial of a father accused of kidnapping his own children and starving his 4-year-old daughter to death. Prosecutors say Rodney McWay's daughter, Treasure, died 2 weeks after DFACS had taken her and her 2 brothers out of his squalid apartment in southwest Atlanta in 2023. McWay, though, traveled to Maryland and kidnapped the kids from their mother, then withheld food and water from 4-year-old Treasure, who was only 24 pounds when she died. 1 hour from now, former Clayton County Sheriff Governor Victor Hill is expected to announce his run for Congress. His Facebook page says the quote-unquote wrongfully convicted former lawman will announce details at 7:30 online tonight during his podcast. He says he will be fighting to defend those who cannot defend themselves. California's emergency motion to block President Trump's deployment of the National Guard and Marines to Los Angeles is being denied by a federal judge. A regular court hearing regarding the matter is now set for Thursday. Governor Newsom says the deployment is, quote, unprecedented and threatens the very core of our democracy. Speaking at a North Carolina Army base, President Trump says he is renaming 7 military bases to honor soldiers who fought against the U.S. government in the Civil War. Trump says the installations will once again be named after Confederate generals, as the former Fort Liberty is now called Fort Bragg again.
We are also going to be restoring the names to Fort Pickett, Fort Hood, Fort Gordon, Fort Rucker, Fort Polk, Fort A.P. Hill, and Fort Robert E. Lee.
He's also defending what the Pentagon says will be a $134 million deployment of National Guard and Marine troops to L.A. amid immigration protests. The president calls the protesters animals and a foreign enemy. Those popular weight loss drugs are taking a big toll on one of the nation's best-known restaurant chains.
So many people are taking Ozempic, Zepbound, and other weight loss drugs that sales at McDonald's may suffer. That's according to analysts at Redburn Atlantic, which downgraded McDonald's stock today. That's the third downgrade in the last week for the burger giant. Analysts also cited uncertainty in the economy as a factor in changing its recommendation from buy to sell. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby for 95.5 WSB.
Aaron Rodgers says he's married. The new Steelers quarterback tells reporters in Pittsburgh that he became a married man a couple months ago. Although he confirmed the fact that he is no longer a bachelor, Rodgers did not reveal any other specifics about his partner or the nuptials. Well, it's going to be quite the peachy summer at Chick-fil-A. Fans of the famous peach milkshake can rejoice because it's back for the 16th year in a row. Chick-fil-A is also debuting a new peach lemonade. There are also some exclusives just for Georgians. The Truett restaurants will have a fried peach pie and a peach waffle. It's now 6:34 and time for live team coverage of traffic and weather. The peachy Alex Williams says it hasn't been that much of a peach on the roads out there today.
It sure has not, Veronica, and the troubles continue into Dunwoody. Crash 285 eastbound, the inner loop, Chamblee Dunwoody Road, exit 30. 1 to 2 right lanes are blocked there. That's why you're seeing the brake lights as you leave Georgia 400. If you're heading southbound into downtown, it's still close to a half hour where the jam starts on 400 southbound at Lenox Road, all the way down the connector southbound to I-20. Northbound delay is still in place from Highway 166 Langford Parkway as you make the drive up past Peachtree Pine Street. Brakes free just a tad bit once you pass the Varsity approaching 10th Street, exit number 250. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
And now Atlanta Radio's only 5-day forecast. Here's WSB meteorologist Christina Edwards.
Scattered rain showers and thunderstorms will come to an end this evening, becoming partly cloudy with some areas of patchy fog for tomorrow morning, lows in the mid-60s. Tomorrow afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds, high 87. Partly cloudy, hot and humid Thursday, high 88. A few pop-up showers and storms on Friday, high 86. Widespread rain showers and thunderstorms return on Saturday, high 83.
Right now, it is 77 degrees in Peachtree City, 75 in Milton, and 76 on Peachtree Street in Midtown Atlanta at 6:35. More news at 7 o'clock. Breaking news when it happens. I'm Veronica Waters, 95.5 WSB.
You don't want to play games when it comes to your roof. That's why you should call Finley Roofing, the experts who believe manners matter and who will treat your home like their own. So you'll be sure you get your done right. Learn more at finleyroofing.com.
Steel Horse Law are 100% local. Get your free Rider's Advantage card at steelhorselaw.com.
If you're seeing cracks in the walls upstairs, downstairs, or outside, maybe even a door not closing, call the Foundation Repair Specialist. Hi, it's Mark Beckham here with Atlanta Ramjack, and we are your leading foundation repair experts. Set up your free estimate right now at atlantaramjack.com.
Just a word of wisdom from your friend Mark Aram. A damaged roof doesn't always lead to an entire roof replacement project. As a full-service Atlanta roofing company, my friends at Dr. Roof offer comprehensive roof repairs that will lengthen the lifespan of your existing roof and ensure that it will continue to protect your home as it should. It's storm season. Get peace of mind from my friends at Dr. Roof. They've been in business for over 35 years. And Dr. Roof offers up to a 5-year warranty on roof repairs. Get all the info online at drroof.com.
You know, I have to say that still this Diddy trial is going on. And outside of embarrassing things where people are taking the stand saying, well, it was the 15th time I did it that I tell you the freak-off got humiliating. And here's why. I mean, domestic violence, yes, we've seen the evidence of that. But by the time this is done, he's going to have time served. How long has he been in jail? A couple of years now? I don't know, a year?
About a year, not even a year.
Yeah. So, but by the time the trial's over, they're going to be able to get him for domestic violence. I think he's going to plead guilty to domestic violence. But it'll be his first time, right? So it's not going to be 10, 15, 20 years. So it's either going to be time served or he's got to serve like 6 more months. The stuff, when is the sex trafficking and like the stuff that was promised? I'm sorry. If you're the male dancer who attended 18 of these and want me to know how freaky Diddy is, it's not resonating with me. When I find something freaky, I just happen to be there the first time, and you'll never see me there again. That's kind of the way it usually works. If people find something off-putting, but I mean, this is just going on and on and on, and everything that I read every day is, yeah, he was freaky. Is that what he's on trial for being freaky? Is that weren't we promised?
RICO and sex trafficking, and they haven't proven that at all.
Well, they haven't even brought it up yet, have they? Maybe they're waiting to the very end?
Maybe.
I don't know.
It is leading to good comedy. I know Kevin Hart was able to kind of piggyback off of it.
Oh,
or
yeah.
jump off.
How did he lamely and lightly?
He was at the BET Awards last night. And
did I win anything?
You did not win anything at the BET.
Always shut out.
I know. I'm sorry, man.
I mean, I don't want to get angry about it or anything.
Well, maybe you should go.
Huh?
If you would go, maybe you would win.
Well, no, they just want to humiliate me.
Yeah.
Because I'm up for every award.
Pretty much.
And then I just sit there like that lady from the
Susan Lucci?
Yeah.
She eventually won.
Yeah, well, eventually you're going to win because all your competitors die. The Emmys, it's the same people facing each other every year. It's not like the Oscars.
Yeah, Frasier's still winning, and it hasn't been on in 10 years.
Well, it's on Netflix.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. They did reboot it.
Kevin Hart, though, had a good Diddy joke.
I'm going to do my part. I'm shutting down the idea of after parties. No after parties tonight, okay? None. Take your asses home after this. That's why I did it on a Monday. I did it on a Monday. People got to go to work tomorrow. No after parties. That's for get slippery at them after parties.
That's not that great.
Yeah, I think you said it was a great
We're learning
joke.
a lot about people, ain't we? We're learning a lot.
Yeah, we're not learning
Take
about
your
sex
asses home.
trafficking. Okay, I get it. I get it. Nothing against Kevin Hart, but
Slippery.
I didn't see that as his greatest material.
Get it? The slippery. Baby.
Mark Wahlberg brought up Diddy on his podcast a little while ago, and he no, don't go there, don't go there, don't go there. Cut it.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I'm sure the dude had power. I get that there's a lot going on and a way to intimidate, with his power and
all the documentaries that are out are very anti him too. Like it's so much so. Like I was at home. And,
well, I mean, I'm sure he's not a good guy.
No, I'm not here to say he's
arguing
a great guy.
that he's a good guy.
Sure.
I'm just saying I don't see with this case is anything other than he was a freak.
I would like to get another perspective on it because I know the one that Tina was watching on Max, I believe, about him was like all about how he's guilty and he's done all these
and by
things
the way,
wrong.
the people who put that on, everybody in it and everybody around it 20 years ago knew this was going on. All of this it's like the Weinstein thing. Quentin Tarantino didn't know this was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Of course he did. Meryl Streep did. Everybody did. But then once it breaks loose, now the person doesn't have power or leverage. Everybody can come out and say, oh, I was always against it. I mean, yeah, I met with him 17 times to try to get that part, but I was against what he was doing. I really was. The male dancer. I'll tell you, the 14th time I arrived at one of these freak-offs, I was thinking, maybe stop doing this. What kind of credibility does somebody have Yeah, I attended at least 25 of these freak-offs, and let me tell you something. They were horrible.
I got bored after a while. There's only so many times I could,
Yeah, there's only so. And like the latest thing I heard from an old girlfriend or something is like how weird he was because he was watching and then he was mad because he didn't like what was going on and he's stomping around the room. Great stuff for a script about a really weird dude, but I mean, I'm not getting where. And I have a feeling, I've said this before, that when we do get to the part that's about sex trafficking, it's going to be like a 25-year-old. Like a call girl who they hired and she got on a plane and went from Nevada to Texas or something. Like it's not going to be what you think in your mind.
From like Las Vegas to LA.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go, there's a state line there. It's not going to be in your mind what you're thinking of, like, indentured servitude, children being, offered. Maybe it will be. If it is, I would say, why didn't you skip all of this and just go right to the part
that's
where?
Why, yeah.
I mean, there's this.
It's not.
That's why I'm thinking. You're thinking it's not coming.
Of course not.
Well, they said
not
to the
like
jury.
What you're talking about the way that it.
Yeah.
You sort of like.
No, it'll be somebody
in your mind to be so evil.
Yeah. And then the sex trafficking is going to be like an OnlyFans person that he played. Yeah. He paid their plane ticket and they're 24 or 25. Not exactly what in my mind. No. I'm thinking of when you say sex trafficking.
It's throwing you in a van and driving across.
It's getting like, it's not as, like Young Thug, which I didn't really pay all that much attention to, but you mentioned Rico and all this stuff. It's like you're trying to do too much here. Is this, like in the jury's mind, is this part just to make him seem so freaky so that the other parts will land better? I don't really.
It seems that way.
I mean, the guy.
Like it's building, I guess, more information about him than what his public persona is.
Right, but at this point, we're 3 weeks in. We get it.
No, I need more.
I guess somebody
not
else.
a good guy.
Yeah, apparently.
What else? What's in those boots?
There's a lot of baby oil. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that during the pandemic? Was he not supposed to buy that many bottles?
No, it's full of what's it called? G?
I don't know.
I think it's called.
G is.
It's in the. Yeah, I think it's called G.
We used to call it G's when I was a kid.
Oh, G.
It's a great bar.
Oh, geez, I'm real high.
Gatorade? What's in it?
Down on 10th Street in Piedmont. That's a great bar.
My point is, he obviously abused his wife. We have footage of that, and that's against the law. And I think and I think that they're going to plead not guilty. Is my understanding. What is all this for? Just to prove to us that he's a freak? I mean, I got that in the first 3 days. I really don't. If they don't have slam dunk. The kind of sexual trafficking that makes all of us go, oh, man, that's evil. Then they've got nothing other than what we already knew because we saw that footage from the hallway in the hotel before the trial started. So it's like we've seen this. We know. People get so obsessed with it. There's less going on there than in the Los Angeles protests. Are we even awake?
No.
Is this a dream?
This
is a dream.
It's a dream. You're still on vacation,
people
Let's try
and
fly and see if it's a dream.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can fly. Hold on. We're going to go to traffic, but then I'm going to go up on the roof. And by the time we get back,
I believe
Jared will tell you whether or not I was dreaming or whether I was awake.
There's a pool on the roof here at WSB, too.
Ooh, I can take a dip before I die. Dip and die. It's my new recreational. Six Flags is so done. Eric Von Hessler is going to open up Dip and Die. Alex Williams says it's still a slow ride through downtown.
A slow ride and one that is slow to recover this evening, Eric. Still seeing the brake lights southbound into town out of Buckhead. Once you meet up with the 85 and the 400 merge, that's where it really packs in for the ride down into Midtown and downtown. Gets a little bit better the closer you get to I-20. Northbound slows University Avenue up toward Freedom Parkway. And all lanes, just found this on the Jam Cam, all lanes being held right now in DeKalb County, heading toward Dorville, 85 southbound at 285, exit 95. Trying to get some trouble out of that HOT lane. That's why it's starting to jam up the ride coming down from Norcross. Traffic brought to you by Active Pest Control. Enjoy a pest-free home with Active Pest Control's pest-free 365 service. To save $50 off your initial pest service, visit ActivePestControl.com today. Alex Williams, 95.5 WSB.
If it's happening on the streets of Atlanta.
The Cobb County Medical Examiner's Office identifies 57 sets of cremains.
If it's happening on the roads leading to Atlanta.
Massive project at 285 and Georgia 400 has been a big improvement.
We've got it covered.
Atlanta
Atlanta jurors convict a former Customs and Border Protection officer.
Your 24/7 news source.
Covering the stories that impact you.
Tune in throughout the day to stay up to date.
95.5 WSB, Atlanta's breaking news station.
Your deck is more than just a place to flip a burger or have a cup of coffee. It gathers your friends and family on all your favorite occasions and is there to enjoy every day. Hi, I'm Scott Nelson, owner of Nelson Exteriors, and we build beautiful, high-quality decks at a reasonable price. We're licensed and insured, provide exceptional customer service, design help, and we'll work with the materials you want. Strength, durability, beauty. Decks done differently. Built by Nelson Exteriors. Get your free estimate. Google Nelson Exteriors.
Hi, it's Wes Moss. And at my firm, Capital Investment Advisors, we believe retirement planning is a blend of smart investing and savvy tax planning. That's why our dedicated team of CPAs is looking to expand. If you're a CPA or know a tax accountant looking to join a growing team who balances a passion for excellent work with an engaging office environment, reach out to us at yourwealth.com/join our team. We'd love to meet you.
Hey y'all, Belinda Skelton for Four Seasons Home Care, and I'm not going to cry in this commercial, I hope. As many of you know, I lost both my parents recently, but I am so thankful they were able to finish their lives at home where they wanted to be. It's all because of the incredible caregivers who came to see them every day. I am so grateful to Four Seasons Home Care. This is a real family-owned company that vets and hires every single one of their caregiving specialists. They don't have contractors. They're not some national corporation. They are simply the best here in Georgia. And a lot of you have asked me about my journey and if home care is right for your aging parents. I'll tell you what I tell them. Call Four Seasons Home Care and just start the conversation. It's a 100% free call that can change everything. Google Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta. That's Four Seasons Home Care Atlanta.
At CertaPro Painters, we know that a happy place comes in many colors, like ones that inspire a sense of wonder, or a new flavor that makes life just a little bit sweeter, or one to celebrate those moments that lift you to new heights. We can reawaken any space to make your happy place your home. CertaPro Painters. That's painting happy. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Ooh, Father's Day is just around the corner. It's Katie Kiley from my good friends at D. Geller & Son Jewelers, and boy, both locations have something fun planned to celebrate. June 13th through 15th, one weekend only, there'll be an extended selection of watches, including brands like Tissot, Omega, Rolex, and Breitling. And to spice things up, complimentary whiskey tastings courtesy of Old Fort Distillery. And that weekend, D. Geller & Son will give you a whiskey gift set with purchase. D. Geller & Son in Kennesaw and Sandy Springs, Atlanta's source for quality and value since 1939.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. If you're over 50 and tired of your wireless bill getting higher and higher, there are 4 things to consider. 1, how much data are you really using? As we get older, we use less data on our wireless phone, but you're probably still paying for an unlimited plan that was designed for 20-somethings. 2, if you see Get a Phone on Us, get your sneakers out and run the other way. No one is giving you a free phone. You are paying for that phone over time with an overpriced rate plan and a long-term commitment. 3, check the fine print on that $15 a month plan. It's probably an intro price that'll double or triple later. You might even have to pay for several months of service up front. Number 4, be aware of cable company wireless plans. Most of your usage will be on Wi-Fi instead of 5G, and your calls and battery life could suffer. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide service without the big wireless bill. Our plans start at just $20 a month.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Yamamoto, why don't you get off your brains and give us another trending story?
All right, you got it from business.
You know, it's that guy, Jared Yamamoto. He sits in his taxi on his brains all day.
Yeah, that's right.
Get off your brains. All right.
Starbucks is hiring 2 influencers for an epic year of traveling the world and paying them up to $136,000 a year.
Up to.
You have until June 13th to submit your application via TikTok. So
Autumn,
this Friday.
Let's go.
All right.
You gonna do it?
Sure.
You work there.
Hey, what's up, you guys?
What the hell is
Hi, it's me, Rebecca.
Yes.
Yes, you got to make one.
I'll
You got to
make
make
one.
one.
You have to.
We'll put it out. We'll really put it in there. Like really, like I know we're doing it for comedy reasons, but dressing away, whatever. Like they think that you're really trying to get it done, so that we can.
What are you supposed to do?
It says
to
here-
convince them that you should be chosen.
You should be chosen as the influencer to go around the world and be an ambassador for Starbucks.
Here's from their press release here. It says, for one epic year, you'll travel the
Epic.
world. Think,
For one epic year, you'll travel around the world.
think Milan, Tokyo, Colombia, Dubai, Costa Rica, and more, capturing the vibes.
Be careful there.
Culture and people behind every Starbucks experience.
Don't
End
you
quote.
already have to be an influencer to be somebody that's
Doesn't say
they
that.
would consider?
It doesn't say that, but they'll probably pick somebody who's already influenced. My question is this: what the
I
hell
have
is this?
590 followers.
All right.
What is this?
There we go.
Brag. What does this have to do with coffee? Starbucks. Your job is to
Because
sell.
there's Starbucks all over the world. I guess.
Their job is to sell overpriced coffee to people who do not manage their money well. Stay in your lane. And whenever they go, we're a lifestyle brand. Okay, coffee's not that difficult. People are dumb enough to spend that money every day on coffee. Then they deserve it. Coffee is water and beans. You want the beans to be good, and you want the water to be like halfway decent.
You
You get
grind 'em.
halfway decent water and good beans. You can make coffee, and it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Well, it sounds like that should be your video. You should go the informative route there, Eric, because all you have to do is use the hashtag Starbucks Global Coffee Creator.
Hey, TVH coming at you live from the Starbucks in Dubai.
Yeah.
The water's great here.
Oh, this is
I lived here.
fantastic. I hope they don't check my cache, my internet cache, or I may never get out of here. I shouldn't have used my VPN.
So far, they're saying again. I don't know
They're
when this.
saying-
They say that only 300 people have submitted so far. Again, this article came out about 12 hours ago, so I'm sure it's changed a little
is
bit.
just ridiculous.
I'll pay
Diet Coke drinkers $250,000 to go around the world and talk about Palantir or whatever it is.
Palantir, yes.
Palantir.
Trumpentier.
Get all the data.
I think before the show ends, we should all say happy birthday to Autumn Fisher.
Happy
Yay.
birthday,
Yes.
Adam Fisher. I did this
Yes,
morning
my
earlier,
birthday.
though.
She is 57 years of age.
That's 57 years young.
Yes.
She only looks 43.
And it turns out she is. 43.
Got you, Autumn, here too.
Go, go, go.
Is this the birthday song now these days?
Go, shawty.
25 years old.
Is there anything newer than that?
Quite old.
All right, I'm still with. I still got like the Beatles' birthday in my brain, but I'm really old.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Doesn't McCartney own the song "Happy Birthday"? I'd always
Not
heard
anymore.
that. Oh, really? What happened? Did Michael Jackson's estate steal it from him?
Happy birthday.
I'm not sure.
There you go. Why did he have to buy "Happy Birthday"? He had this. Hey, Autumn. They say it's your, they say it's your birthday.
Well, it's my birthday too on Saturday.
Are you having a
Gemini.
Autumn? Are you having a military parade in your honor on your birthday
Yes.
today?
Yeah, I'm going to get a tank. Just one, though.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. That's all you need.
And my boyfriend's a vet. So
Go to the
There you
grocery
go.
store and get some pink army men.
there you go.
What is the parachuter going to deliver to you? Because Trump's going to get an American flag delivered to him.
He's going to deliver me a donut.
Eat it.
I'm going to keep my mouth open. He's going to aim for it.
Right.
He's going to come all the way from 10,000 feet, and he's going to put that donut right in her mouth.
Oh, I didn't know that you shared a birthday with Kate Upton, too. Happy birthday, Kate Upton.
Who cares? Why are you so into celebrity birthdays?
Remember when she was famous?
Yeah, she's
Who
33.
was she? Was she an actress or
She was a
what
model, and she was with Justin Verlander, but she was
Oh.
part of the Fappening, the release of the naked celebrity photo.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
if it-
that's one that Eric didn't mind.
I know nothing
I would
about
never look
it.
at something that's not meant
That's
to be.
not my.
folder later when you
It's
get
not
home.
my business.
Bill Burr's birthday today, too.
Bill Burr.
Guy,
Yeah, I hate everything now.
thanks for mentioning the guy who can't stand Eric Von Hessler. Yeah, I seen guys like you before never left the city. La, 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 la.
Are you Opie or Anthony?
All right. That music's telling us two things. Shut the hell up, get the hell out. You know us. We're good patriots. We do what we're told. That's what it means to be a good patriot. You just do what you're told. You never question. And that's us. Shelley Winter is up next. She's got a great radio show for you. We'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. You're all invited to join us. But until then, continue on your journey and also always remember